Well, this is the official CLG podcast. We are on episode number 3 with some of the coolest people I know. We are here with James, VoiD, and Tyrell, otherwise known as NAKAT, and I am Melixia, otherwise known as Devin. Hello. Hello, my friends.
Hi. What's up? What's up?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing good?
Yeah, I woke up pretty early for my standards, so I don't know. It's been a good day so far.
Your standard
Yes.
is very different depending on the day. Sometimes you're up at like I always see because I look at the bedroom window when I'm walking by, and the light was out at like 10 p.m. last night. You guys went to bed.
Oh no, that's me.
Oh,
I turn the light out and then he turns the night light on and we continue.
I have like
Continue
I have
what?
a little light in my corner, so that way I don't turn on the whole like room.
Yeah.
So that way he can fall asleep on his bed, and I still have like a decent amount of light if I plan to stream or just stay awake.
Yeah.
Got it.
When I'm really tired, I have to go, dude. I have to pass away.
What does that mean?
That means I just knock out to no return.
To no return.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm gone.
I'm already curious about the comb.
Wait, man.
It's too early, I know, but I'm just telling you, I'm not going to get into it right now.
Don't worry. When it's time to talk about the comb, I promise I'll tell you everything.
Okay, I trust that you know the time.
Of course.
Okay, that you know the right time.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, very quickly before we just go into it, so the audience knows there are no real rules to this. I'm not interviewing anybody. I don't even have to be in this. I think they have some stuff they need to hash out. Or something, I don't know, and it's just a conversation. It's just getting on about it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it would be cool though to do like an introduction, and I wanna really know who you guys are, and how you got here.
Oh yeah.
Who wants to start?
I'll go first.
All right.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
All right.
Who is NAKAT?
So my name's Tyrell Coleman, but around these parts they call me NAKAT, and around these parts they call me NAKAT. How far do you want me to go back? How far you want me to go back? How I got onto CLG?
You gotta like back to the future, man. Like you can go as far as you want.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I've been competing in Smash since 2009, late 2009, with Brawl. You know, the game that people...
You don't have to look at the camera if you don't like.
No, I love looking at the camera.
Right, you can just
I
look at
want
the
you guys to
camera
know I'm looking dead at you. As I was saying. I came back from the Brawl days in 2009. You know, it's the game that people, quote-unquote, don't like. I love Brawl. I really do. But, I sucked. And...
What has sucked?
Oh, dude.
Like,
all right,
top
man.
50?
No. I sucked.
Top 50 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah,
but when a pro player says that they suck, that is
2009, I
There's
wasn't
like
a pro.
Yeah, there's a pro player saying that they suck, and somebody who's just started playing the game saying that they suck.
Yeah.
Okay, so you really sucked.
I played Smash Brothers all my life. 64, Melee, Brawl came out. Had no idea there was a competitive scene for it or that competitive Smash Brothers existed, and I learned about it through my good friend Jesus Benitez. Wherever you are right now, my brother, I miss you, man. But he showed me that the game could be played in a way that I'd never imagined, and like when he played me for the first time, it was my first encounter with a pro player. I got destroyed, man. And I really wanted to know, how did this guy get this good at a game that I dedicated my childhood to? And so I went to my first Brawl tournament. I sucked. I got dead last. Like, actually dead last. I got double 3-stocked, because we played with 3 stocks in Brawl. Couldn't take a life. And so that started my adventure of competitive Smash, because if these guys could do this, I want to be able to do it, because I love this game. And so I started going to tournaments more and more. But, I mean, if we revisit, like, our past, I'll talk about it on the podcast. But fast forward to Smash 4, I ended Brawl off ranked 12th and ranked 1st in Tri-State. So ranked 12th worldwide and then ranked 1st in the strongest region in the world. That's how I left Brawl. Coming to Smash 4, early dominance in the game, like very early dominance, even to maybe like a full year of being like really dominant. Fell off towards like the midpoint, and now it's been like a fluctuation of trying to regain dominance. However, it's been a wild ride, and the way I found myself on CLG is I asked. I saw the Reddit thread when you got announced as the new CEO, and I was like, yo, are you guys looking for any Smash 4 players? And you put me in contact with Sammy, and then I came to be, man.
Is it Sammy that recruited you?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. You literally said message Sammy at CL Gaming. I was like, okay. So I started talking to her.
I definitely approved it, though. I was definitely the one that was behind that decision, I remember. Because I really like Smash 4.
Yeah.
And I really want to support the scene, yeah.
And so...
Because I am a Smash 4 player myself.
Of course. You played Rosalina.
Exclusively Rosalina.
You picked up a Ness player, but you played Rosalina.
Well, previously I played Ryu. And I played Ryu so much, but no one knew he was as good as he was yet.
Yeah.
And I was convinced he was not good, or at least too technical for me to ever figure out. So I just went total cheeseball and just started the wall with Luma.
Oh yeah, dude.
The wall.
Yeah. I
great.
Appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
Again, you picked up a Ness player. That Rosalina's and Nesses, they don't go hand in hand, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I usually run away from people that play your character.
I still have not been able to take a game off you though.
I know. I gotta keep it that way.
But I need to go into the hyperbolic chime chamber. I'm telling you, like with both of you, I need to like actually train because I just got back from UW and they have a Smash scene there. And I was telling you off air. I haven't told you this yet. I got bodied, dude, by a Rob, just like a straight up Rob player. I just got completely and utterly bodied. There was nothing I could do. I know your face, but I'm just telling you, I couldn't do anything.
I'm sorry that had to happen to you, man.
So am I. It was absolutely awful. Guy just shows up in a jersey, looks pretty serious. And I was like, oh yeah, he's probably like a really good player. Then picks Rob, and I'm like, I'm fine. How much can this guy do? And then it was just the robot apocalypse.
Never underestimate a character in Smash 4, man.
I guess not. If a guy picks like Game & Watch or something, I guess I just have to be.
Yeah,
I have to be ready.
You might lose from anything.
Yes.
You might have the biggest lead you've ever seen in your life in anything, and you just lose within the next 4 seconds.
You get 9-hammered.
Yeah, times are tough when you got to play out the side B.
Yeah.
you can still win. You
I know.
always have the chance to win.
In Melee, I'm so bad that all I do is I just like follow SFAT around with Game & Watch and just try to get 9s.
Yeah.
Because if I could take the only way I'm going to take a gain off of him is just like I get like 3 straight 9s and it's over.
Got him.
Yeah.
But that's how I came to be in CLG. I literally asked. I showed you guys everything I had to offer, my past, the present, and ultimately it was up to the org's decision. You said you watched my YouTube content also.
I did. Yeah,
and,
I still do.
Still stream.
Was particularly enchanted by a lot of your personal videos because you do a lot of work on talking about issues in the gaming scene and talking about issues that gamers have, like depression and like things like yeah. And that was, I'm a big self-improvement guy, so that was really hit me at home. I think that was actually like for you personally, like what really differentiated you versus like other competitors.
Yeah. Because
we had a lot of people in the Smash 4 scene we could approach,
yeah.
especially like for an organization like CLG, but we never recruit based on like rankings, which at the time you weren't like, I don't think, like top 5.
Oh no, I wasn't even top 10.
So like doesn't matter. Like the Overwatch team was the same story. We picked them up at 33 or something, and now they're like top 10.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. What did I end on PGVR 1? 34th. I was 34th or 3rd, one of those. But I mean, man, let's not get into the PGR.
The community and this is something that I actually did want to talk about. I think it's a long conversation. I don't know if it's time to do it now, but the community of Smash is so drastically different from any other like gaming community and any other esport.
I can 100% agree with that, even just from experience alone.
Different in a good way because like people in Smash actually really love what they do.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily the case on all esports. You have people that are there for money. You have people that are there for fame or whatever. But people in Smash, I feel like you guys like went through it.
Smashers are not entitled. We don't feel entitled.
And it would take a really long time for you to get there too. Like you'd have to be red carpet,
grateful than anything.
Yeah,
like
for a long time.
We had this conversation before. Like I was trying to explain to you. Yeah, back in the day, Smashers, we would just share a room with like 8 people.
You still do. That's not back in the day.
Some people, yes,
yeah,
people do that. But like, it's
every time you go to a tournament.
That's why you're like saying.
We book you a hotel room for just you.
Yeah.
And then you invite 8 people to do it. Yeah.
We don't.
Not eight.
Not 8.
It's
just like 1 max 2.
Got it.
Like if we have someone that really needs it, but like, yeah, we're grateful because back in the day we didn't have people buying our flights. We didn't have people Dude, you trying to say, bro?
No. I was
He was
laughing
making a-
because I remember when he
I
was.
thought he was making a face. What you trying to say, bro?
I was remembering when he had to sleep in a bathtub.
No, that wasn't me.
What he was?
No, it wasn't.
He didn't sleep in the bathtub.
No. I was at a place, or I heard of having, like, my friends had so many people in a hotel room
Someone slept in the bathroom.
that people slept in the bathtub.
But you said you would sleep in the bathtub.
I mean, if I had to,
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Like, if I really, really had to.
You said you'd be happy to sleep in the bathtub.
It's a place to stay, man.
I had to ride in the trunk of a car once.
Riding in the trunk
Yeah.
of the car?
Yeah.
For
Wait,
how long?
didn't you do that for a YouTube video?
Oh, that was, but that was scripted.
Yeah, but you still did, right?
No.
Oh.
So
I don't want to say how the video was made.
You
but,
had to go into the back of a car for actual utility reasons.
yeah, because we were going to a tournament. This was way back in the day.
Got it.
We were going to a tournament. There's no space in the car, not even to lay on people. Oh what? Yeah, I'll take the trunk.
How long was the ride?
It was like 30 minutes. This is a good ride.
What did you do in there?
It was on
You
my
have your
phone.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on my phone, dude.
That is scary. I don't think
I never did that again.
Yeah.
But I did it, and we got to the tournament. But I walked on the highway to a tournament once also. But this is when I was way younger. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, that's scary.
I
In
did
LA?
it. No, this
Oh.
is Jersey.
Yeah, you can't walk on a highway in LA, man. That'd be the end.
That's a funny story. I've told it before on stream, and it will remain a story, not another experience.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
it's essentially that's me, where I come from. I don't just play the game, I make content also.
Well-
Both are important.
While we're on that subject, why do you play the game?
Why do I play the game?
Yeah.
Because, when I was little, when 64 came out, my uncle would come over, and he would play me all the time. He's much older than me. He would beat me down, like, every single time. And I'm just a kid, right? I'm trying to have fun with the game. But I think I was a little competitive as a kid, too, because I really wanted to beat him. But I think the thing that caught my attention with Smash Brothers was the fact that it's a bunch of Nintendo characters from all these different games that I loved, all in one game. I never thought I'd see Mario fighting Pikachu, for instance. Like, that the All-Star crossover, the mashup, those games are amazing. Even games like Injustice or Marvel vs. Capcom.
I love Injustice.
Those games,
It's really good.
all those
It's
characters
actually
visiting
such a good
like,
fighting game.
the same universe is insane.
Yeah, blending them together.
Yes.
Well, there's old Marvel versus Capcom, like old school
Exactly.
games. Yeah.
So when I saw that in Smash, I knew that this is a game that I was going to play a lot. What I didn't know is this is a game I was going to play every day for hours. Because when Melee came out, I still didn't know about a competitive scene, but I played the game every day for hours. That was the game I played the most.
Were you good at Melee?
No. I didn't know of a competitive scene, so I just thought, I played my friend Jonathan, and we just thought we were good. That's it.
I can't get good at Melee.
That game's
hard.
hard.
I gave it up. Like, I just can't do it. Like, I respect people that are good at it, but I just can't do it.
Brawl-
It's just so much technical moves and everything.
Brawl came out. Well, before Brawl was announced, I was really excited for the game, and then it got delayed twice. And on the second time, I cried because I was
Yeah.
that excited for the game for it to get delayed again. I cried. I don't care. I cried.
How old are you?
I don't remember. I was in middle school though.
How old are you now? 22?
Yeah. I don't know about you.
You're like 13.
Dude, I cried.
You're 13.
Yeah, I cried.
No.
I cried.
No.
I was so heartbroken, especially because they just announced Sonic for the game too.
Ooh.
I wanted Sonic and Smash Brothers forever. Dude, when I tried him when Brawl came out, I sucked so bad with him, I gave up. It was so bad. But Sonic's in the game, right? But I mean, is that really a good thing now, guys? I don't think so. But we'll get back to that.
He's pretty B tier, right?
No.
Oh, he's good now?
Yeah, we stupid.
He's like minimum top 10. He's a
Really?
He's a really good character.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really annoying to fight and it kills stream views, but hey, Sonic the Hedgehog, right guys? Great franchise.
True.
Yeah, dude, so I was really happy.
Just like Cloud.
Great franchise.
Yeah, great franchise. Yeah.
That character's killing teams.
Yeah.
I hate that character.
Yeah, he is. He's killing Rosalina is what he's doing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It's not good. No. Every
it's
time
like-
someone picks Cloud against Rosa, I'm just like, this is that's the controller. I'm just done.
It's evil
Yeah.
fighting evil.
No.
I'm fine watching it, but
No,
end
it's-
result, evil wins. You know?
It's just it's a demon fighting a lesser demon. Yeah.
So Brawl came out, loved that game. I loved it to death. Still love it. Smash 4. when I saw the first trailer for it, I was really excited. But when I saw it for the 3DS also, that like sold me too. Because I never thought Smash should be on a handheld. How would that work, right? But personally, I enjoyed it. I was able to control it. I liked it a lot. And I still play it when I need to on the 3DS. But then when I played the Wii U version, I fell in love. Like, I love Smash Brothers, not Smash 4, not Brawl, not Melee. I love every single, like, iteration of the game. So when they come out with the next one, I know I'm going to like that one too. And it's just like, I'm so attached and devoted to the game that I can't see myself leaving it to play something else seriously.
Respect.
Yeah.
Well, James,
It's
I feel
my
like
turn.
it is your turn.
Hooray.
I feel like lots of people know you because of your competitive prowess. So you are a very good player at Smash 4. And you're actually, what a lot of people don't know about you is you're actually a pretty good player at almost everything. Because you're also Masters in League, almost Challenger. Did you ever hit it?
I never hit Challenger. I've been top 100.
Top 100.
That was when Challenger was top 50.
Okay.
But actually, recently, so because I've been traveling so much because of Smash, I've been playing League a lot more casually in that regard. And I didn't want to hit Masters because the way Decay works, there's a high chance I'm just going to decay out. And I just hit Masters again and I'm so mad. like I just want to be Diamond 1. Just let me stay Diamond 1.
So you're very good at League, and you're also quite good at Melee.
I'm not that good at Melee.
You're pretty good at Melee.
I've only recently started like trying to pick it up seriously.
I think you're pretty good at Melee.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, I
But,
think you're pretty good at Melee. I mean, we'd have to ask SFAT or Kevin for a actual synopsis.
Yeah,
but,
like where I am.
Yeah, but yeah, who is VoiD, and how did you start in this, and how did you become what you are?
How did I become the CLG VoiD?
Yes.
I would say in terms of gaming, like I've played games my whole life. Games have always been like a good, like relaxing thing at home. Just like, oh, I don't want to do homework, or I don't want to like.
Good reason.
I don't want to do other things. I just want to play a game. Usually, I used to play like more RPGs than anything. Though, going into like middle school and like high school, it developed into playing like FPSs and rhythm games. And then sophomore year of high school, this is around 2012. Sophomore year was when I started playing League and I started playing Smash competitively. I've always played Smash with my brother and his friends, which was 64 and Melee, and I never beat them. Like, I don't know, just something about being a younger kid against older kids. It just seems very hard, unless you're already in like that teenage phase. Like I feel like a teenager doing well against like a 20-year-old is much more realistic than an 8-year-old doing well against a 14-year-old. There's just a huge barrier. But going into 2012, I played with my own friend group. Didn't know about competitive. I actually found out about competitive League before I found out about competitive Smash, which I found really weird because I got into competitive Smash way before like competitive League. But I would watch these things, they're like combo videos, pretty much highlight videos. And I was like, wow, these are so cool. I didn't know you could do cool things in a game like this. Like, oh my god. And found out the people whose combo videos I watched, like I like idolized them. I'm like, these guys are the greatest. But they lived in Hawaii. Not only Hawaii, they lived...
Where were you living at the time?
Hawaii.
Yeah, so
I was living on Oahu in Kapolei.
Right.
And they all lived in Kapolei. And I'm like...
By coincidence?
Yes, pure coincidence.
Out of all the places.
Yes.
And you were in Jersey at this time, right?
Yeah, for my Smash career, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, whoa, this is actually crazy. So I ended up finding them on Facebook. And I was like, hey, would I be able to like come and like practice with you guys or something? And it took a while. First, like somebody else that wasn't like in their friend group, he would come over and start playing with me. So I practiced with him. His name is Asa. He lives in Texas now. Okay. But I'd practice a lot with him. Then I got to know like the other people, the combo video people. These guys go by GSM, which was Gimp Style Madness. It's to like a crew name, like how NAKAT has LOF, which is Leap of Faith. Okay. I have GSM, which is Gimp Style Madness.
Can you explain for the audience who does not understand this as well, because this took me a while to figure out exactly how the crew mechanic works.
Okay, so crew, TLDR, a crew is a group of friends. That's kind of it.
Yeah.
But there can be rules, right? Like
there can be
is
rules.
Yeah. Like LOF has a lot of rules, and like there are certain rules as to like who you invite in. Like you two are not members of the same. That always blew my mind. That's the one thing about it that's like kind of crazy. Yeah. You guys are not members of the same crew.
I don't think you know how we even met.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know.
That's a story though. But yeah, Leap of Faith had some rules. It started in December 2010. And it's still a thing. Like Leap of Faith still exists. I'm not a part of it anymore, but it's.
Did you officially leave the crew?
Yeah, I left in November.
So that's actually a decision you can just guys, I'm leaving the crew.
Yeah,
so you're now a free agent.
I was one of pretty much for like in a crew. Yeah.
Yeah, like because you can't be a part of two crews at once.
No. That right.
It depends on the crew.
That depends on the crew, but that's very in my opinion, I think it's like disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. So why did you leave LOF?
Whoa.
All right, that's a big one. Let's go back to this.
I just had I had a bunch of personal reasons, and I still love most of the people in the crew. I'm still best friends with most of the people.
Yeah.
So I can still be friends with them and not be in the crew. They wanted me to stay, but I felt like it would just be better after all this time that I left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you joined GSM by meeting them via Facebook.
Yeah.
Basically, over time.
It took a while. Another thing about crews isn't just like, oh, I only talk with these guys.
Yeah.
I only play with these guys. It's more so like, I practice with these guys. I'm good friends with these guys. So I would like to represent.
You spend like the most time with them.
Yeah.
And your crew ends up being pretty much like your best friends in a way.
Yeah.
You still use a tag sometimes, right?
Yeah.
That's like GSM VoiD.
Or all social media, everything, it's GSM VoiD.
Mm-hmm.
Because after knowing about like League and StarCraft, it's like, oh, the VoiD champions, VoiD like lasers.
Oh,
like,
that's why you do it.
Yeah,
because VoiD is such
so
a ubiquitous
common.
term.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
so
that makes a lot of sense.
It makes it
I never even
easier
thought
for
about
me.
that for some reason. Yeah.
Just like, oh, this is GSM VoiD.
But it works in Smash 4. Your tag can just be VoiD.
Yeah.
Because you can just do 4 letters. Yeah. So I always use DMN because it's my initials, and I just like it. It's cool. Yeah. All caps.
Before I was CLG, I would put LOF NAKAT all the time.
I see.
When I played.
Okay. You put CLG NAKAT, right?
Now I put CLG NAKAT.
Yeah.
But you're sometimes just because I can put CLG SM VoiD.
Yeah.
Just because the G's there, so I'm like, yes.
Oh, that's true. That's pretty cool.
So after meeting GSM, the scene in Hawaii wasn't that good. We would have like 10-man tournaments per month for about the first half of 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Then it stopped because low attendance, so we only had a yearly tournament. So in the time from me starting playing into Smash 4 coming out was when I devoted a lot of my time into playing League, which was I tried to get into LCS for League. I actually initially wanted to move to Cali for League, and I don't know if you know this, but so I made it to Challenger Series.
Yep.
And I fought Trevor.
Stixay?
Yeah.
Really?
He was on the NBA
Wait,
team.
what define fought? Like you were in solo queue against him?
No. In Challenger Series, he was my round 1 opponent.
Really?
Yes.
And then what happened?
Well, we lost, and it was best of one.
Mm-hmm.
Best of one, single elimination.
Yeah.
So that's it. And I'm like, well, the team told me they were going to bench me because something about school. It was literally a BS reason. I could tell. They just, like, I didn't synergize well with the team too much because our bot lane, they could tilt really easily, and they're really good friends. Our mid laner, really good mechanics, tilt super easily, never had a steady top lane. Our top laner was our weakest link, and our coach was good friends with the bot lane. So if anything goes wrong, mid laner doesn't talk, bot lane has to blame something.
Yeah.
I'm the jungler.
Yeah, why not blame the jungler?
Fantastic. So I left the team ended up falling apart, don't know what happened. But after that, it was about half a year before Smash 4 came out. So I kind of just like waited around, still played League, wasn't really as interested in getting into like LCS. Smash 4 came out, I had a lot of fun with the game. So that was pretty much when I started juggling games.
Okay.
And juggled League, juggled Smash 4, like tired of Smash, went to go play League. And when it really changed was when I went to a tournament called Apex 2015, which was in January of 2015. First tournament outside of Hawaii, and it's like a national scale tournament. And usually Hawaii is seen as a pretty, I wouldn't say weak, but it's different enough to the point where our meta is below like mainland America meta.
Similar to how America's behind Japan.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In certain aspects.
Okay.
You
Not
think
like-
that's
not like-
not true?
In Smash, no.
What didn't you tell me it was?
No.
I've always thought that it
They
was.
have a lot of players that play obscure characters at top level.
Yeah,
Even
but
then-
isn't that by definition?
Their
better?
Well,
meta
it
just-
can be different.
It's different,
Yeah.
but not better.
Yeah,
Okay. I
there
see.
you go.
Yeah. Mm.
So I went to the tournament, and I had 0 in my pool. At the time, I don't know if he was already considered the best player,
Mhm.
but he won the tournament pretty solidly. Played him. Each game went to like, we were going even until I died to like something new, like a new tech that I didn't know about. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. But there's nothing I can do about it. Tried to adapt, didn't work. Got sent to losers kind of early, but I still like trucked on, and I made it to 33rd, which for me, I was like, wow, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at all the people around, like where I placed, and like I placed in such a good area that I know that I probably have potential to do like really good if I kept at it, even though I'm in an obscure region.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept practicing. Went to Evo, and I got 49th. I was heartbroken. I'm like, I did worse than Apex?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. But I didn't let it bother me too much, because the month before Evo, I stayed in Cali, and I went to tournaments here, and I could actually win them unless there was a player that's like top 10 or top 15 caliber there. So I'm like, I'm literally right behind them, and I'm not getting the same like caliber of practice as they are.
Mm-hmm.
So late August to early September of 2015, I moved here, and that was pretty much like where I started. Actually, that is where I would say my journey began.
You moved into Sky Williams' house, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was an adventure.
Yeah, that's a whole story, and that was lots of ups, lots of
That's
downs.
like a series.
Yeah,
Lots of
that's a series of 3-hour podcasts right there for sure. So you had moved into his house, and then what?
Just I knew I moved for Smash, and it was
Mhm.
really hard for me.
And
because-
Zero was there at the time, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was hard for me because I had left my friend group behind,
Mm-hmm.
and with like the way my past worked, like I was very, very attached to them. So I moved into a house of people I barely knew for this one goal in mind, and pretty much for me, I was like, if I fail, this was just like of course I want to go for it, and if I fail, then I know I tried, but I didn't really see failure as an option. So it's just a lot of hard work, a lot of studying, a lot of practice, going to tournaments, and then going into 2016, I solidified myself for 2016 to just be like a top 10 player, like no contest.
What does that mean? You just committed to it?
Yeah, like I didn't let too many things distract me. Like so I played like a lot of League, as you can tell.
Yeah.
From when I moved up until April, I did not have a computer. Like I just didn't have a computer.
Yeah, you were sleeping in like a living room.
Sleeping in the living
Yeah,
room.
in Sky's
No
house.
computer.
No computer. No
I just-
laptop even.
None.
Yeah.
I just had my phone. I would go out and buy like notebooks and stuff, like
Yeah.
write down stuff, and just practice.
Wow. And okay, so one that highlights something that I'm really interested in, but I'll ask it after. So okay. Well, I want to keep the timeline going.
Okay.
So you're in Sky's house. You solidified being a top 10 player, and at about this time you're going to be approached by CLG,
That was
or what happens?
the start of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis was my first breakout performance. I ended up getting 4th,
Yeah.
which I thought was insane. After I finished, like I was like crying. I was like, wow, like I made it. That's crazy. And later on in that month, I went to PAC South. PAC South, I teamed with a friend from Texas named Megafox. We didn't do
Mhm.
amazing. Cloud was busted in doubles.
Still is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
That's exactly how me and Zero lost. That's
Yeah.
Duke and Cloud, dude.
Cloud is anti-fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's seriously anti-fun, and that's coming from a person that's a Rosa main. So of course I'm qualified to say that. Yeah, it's just such a ridiculous. It just doesn't even feel like a match. He just deals so much damage, but he has so much control at the same time that it's just, what do you do? And I guess like Rosa is control without the damage, really.
She's more frail.
Yeah, much more. But also she doesn't deal it like Cloud does. I mean, Cloud, I feel like I get hit and I'm just done. You know, I'm at like 60-70% after a few back and forth, and and then I'm up. Yeah.
Pack South, you were there.
Yep.
I was there. SFAT was there.
Yep.
That
was a big smash.
I was rooming with you, right?
Yeah, we were rooming together. And
now I remember. And
he was coming to the. Wait,
you were talking to me about VoiD.
Yeah. Because VoiD was coming to the house, like...
I came here, like, here and there.
Okay, I totally remember this now. Okay, so this is actually great, because basically you just started being a part of CLG.
Yeah.
And then we were like, well, we might as well make you a part of CLG. That was really cool how you did that. Like, you just... And then that also happened with you ended up living here.
Yeah.
But that's way later. But
I just kept inviting him over.
I think that's smart. Yeah.
Because I liked visiting him at Skies, but I think this would be a better place to hang out and stuff. And then we would just practice together.
Yeah.
And so then Pack South came up. We roomed together there. You were there.
Yep.
SFAT was there, and you got third or fourth?
I got second.
Second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he had to fight Zero and Grand.
I lost to Zero.
And I was like, I think we should pick him up, man.
Yeah.
Like, he should definitely join. Because I was thinking, like, you know, it's cool to be the only Smash 4 player at CLG, but it's also, like, lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me think of someone who I think would be really good, like fits the motto of the brand, someone that I personally like a lot, and then someone that I might be able to team with, because we weren't teaming back then. Like someone I see that I could like mesh with very well. Because you already had PewFat.
Yep.
So it almost seemed fitting to like have another
solidified, an unbelievable doubles team.
A
like
crazy,
the best of the best.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, another crazy doubles team for the other game, and so let's get VoiD. And I gave you the idea.
He approached me in a hotel lobby in Pack South and said, "We really need to get this." That's actually what happened. Yeah.
And then you approached me after the tourney. Like as soon as I like walked off the stage, you're like, "Hey, I'm Devin. I'm the CEO of CLG." I'm like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Hi," and then I walked away, and everyone's like, "Oh, what was that?" I was like, and everyone's just like, "You did it, man."
Yeah.
So happy.
Awesome. And so okay, and then from there, you still lived at Sky's house for a while on CLG, and then evenally came here. Yeah.
And you had no idea.
I didn't know for a
no
month.
Idea.
Yeah. That you were here, because you came and went as you like. You had a place, but like I didn't know you had decided to stay. I was super happy when I found out.
I had everything in the room.
Yeah.
I just stayed in the room and like streamed, or I would just be leaving a lot.
Well, this guy's going
we're the opposite in many ways.
Well, you're all over the place. I mean, you're going to Kazakhstan. You're going everywhere.
When I'm here, you absolutely will know I'm here.
Oh yeah, within 10 minutes, I know.
You'll hear yelling, music, or ignorance, something. And then if he's here by himself, quiet.
You're actually just full blown ninja. Like I can't even.
You can see the light.
Yes, but that's true. Sometimes I can see the light. That's the only sign.
Is VoiD here?
Yeah, sometimes you're basically a lighthouse.
Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not. I actually. Because before I was doing the Jersey and then here, like both places.
Yeah, now you have a place in Ohio.
It's more so. It's not even about the place in Ohio. I was there for like a week. I just go to a lot of stuff. And the way that I see traveling, especially to even save company money, is if I'm in destination A and I have to go to another place in a week, I won't return straight after the tournament to the CLG house. Instead, I'll go from whatever tournament finished
to the next one.
I see. And so that's why it may seem like I'm not here. It's more so because I want to make sure that I spend my budget wisely.
Well, we are trying to get you here. Well, we're trying to encourage you to get here more often. Because, like, number one, you two should be practicing together.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the things that has always puzzled me in an interesting way about you is how you stay so high in the rankings, but you don't technically have a practice partner. I don't even know what you're doing up there. like that's what's kind of crazy is that like Zero stays at that level because he's constantly practicing against like really good people, but you're actually able to overtake Zero pretty regularly now, and like you can actually, I mean, pretty decently. Yeah, you've done it. So, and you don't have that practice partner, and that kind of leads me into like this. What I've always wondered about Smash. When I played Smash, it was probably my most played game in college.
Yeah.
And I would sit. What we would do is like we would set up a GameCube. It was Melee at the time, and then we transitioned to Smash 4, kind of in the middle. And I would set up a GameCube, and we would just have it out on like the public lobby of the college 24/7. People just sit down and play. And I loved it. It was so fun. I'd play Marth only, and I'd just like just get after it, right? Like all day. And there were some people. Well, I mean, the group of people that played at the college was probably like 40 or 50 people. It's like a pretty large group, right?
Yeah.
But no one particularly jumped out and was just unbelievably good. There was just people that were kind of good, and some people could like, but no one really. And what I've always wondered about Smash is a game that, unlike any other game that we could consider an esport, like no one like just meets up to play CSGO casually. That doesn't really happen, right? Like you have people that play CSGO pretty individually, and some people that get really good at it. But Smash is a game that like you'll see at every party, every event, every booth at a PAX or something. DX Racer has a Smash section.
It's a game that wasn't meant to be an esport.
Oh, what? Do you think so?
Yeah, Sakurai by design did not want this game to be what we made it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think he's still of that mindset?
To a degree, definitely.
That's
but
scary.
It's He made for glory mode, making it seem like he truly understands the competitive nature of the players that play this game, and there's been balance patches, but I feel like that's more from Namco's side of things rather than Sakurai. He's set on the game being a party game. By nature, it was made to be a party game. It was made to be that game that's played at parties with 4 players, of items on, the fun way to play it, right?
Yeah.
It is.
It is cool.
It is really fun. Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff going on the screen. Like Fox has a tank aircraft carrier ship or something.
We took it and we evolved it and pushed it into something that nobody thought it could ever be.
Yeah.
And so there is another way to play it, the competitive way. I appreciate all forms of Smash, honestly, but that's why Smash has that magical, I guess, feeling to it because, again, nostalgia, all those characters, even characters like from the present day, like Bayonetta, nobody knew she was going to be in the game. It's like you have all these different characters coming from these different companies, backgrounds, and then you put it in this game where 4 people can play. And like, has it ever like occurred to you that Smash is special because it has doubles? Like, there's no other fighting game, competitively at least, that has a 2v2 mode.
That's true.
Street Fighter doesn't have it.
That's
Tekken
true.
doesn't have
It's
it.
the only FGC that has.
It is the only one that has it.
Well, but at the same time, though, Smash is different from other fighting games in a lot of ways.
In so many ways.
Yeah,
it's really its own entity.
It really is. Yeah. I've always had a little bit of like. The only reason I feel like it can be considered a fighting game is because it kind of fits into FGC. It's kind of the same community type, right? But and it tends to show up at the same events like Evo and CEO. Yeah, but it doesn't. It doesn't really match when you really put it down. But what I wonder is, so all those people in my college and all over the place play Smash, but despite that, there seems to be a very big difference between people who get really freaking good at that game and those people. And for me, like if I'm there's different levels of games, but oftentimes in certain esports like Overwatch, right, I won't get completely cleaned out if I play against the enemy team, right? Like it'll be a fair, like I'll know I'm gonna lose. Yeah. But I'm not gonna lose in such a savage way that you're not gonna get blown away. But if I fight either of you guys at your full strength, which I'm still convinced has like never happened, I'm just gonna get completely bodied. And there's just no. And if I go into melee, it's like I will never take a life off SFAT ever. Yeah. Well, I might do it on accident. Yeah. But that's incredibly rare. Why is it that, like, I guess, like, and this is something that I want to make a kind of concurrent theme on this show, is like, what is it that separates you, that created you as pros? Why are you so much better at this game than anyone who might, and here's the thing, right? This is the big kicker. Other people that put in the hours like you do. Because there are people that play this game casually all the time. Yes. And I guess the example that I love to use, one day this guy's gonna read or watch the podcast and show up. There's this one guy, in like Bronze 4, and he only plays Dr. Mundo. And he has 4,500 games as Dr. Mundo, but he's never gotten out of Bronze. Right? And I imagine there's a huge amount of people that have played Smash, and they've played for probably 5,000 hours or more.
Maybe even more than us.
Maybe even more than you.
Yeah.
Why? What is it? Like, what is it about you two that is putting you to this level?
The approach to the way you learn the game. You can learn the game, like, in the way it's meant to be played competitively, or you don't learn and then you're stuck in like this very casual zone. Like, the mechanics of the game.
So there's a Smash friend zone.
There's maybe sort of, honestly, because
just
like
never get better after this point.
Because there's so many different ways you can approach or move around in Smash Brothers, because it's such a like freely open game that it's very easy to miss why something is bad or why rolling every single time to move across the stage isn't a good option.
That's the first thing I got. You taught me out of.
So
stop rolling all the time.
It's a very different way. Like, first you have to acknowledge that, okay, this is bad. This is the reason why it's bad. And you have to step out of that casual zone into the competitive zone. Because that's one of the first things that newbies have issues with rolling. They think rolling is the answer to everything. Roll, attack, roll, attack. You see it on For Glory all the time. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. It is actually one of the worst things you could possibly do. But they don't know that, because the way they've been playing the game all these years is in a way where they don't deal with people that are going to destroy them for that.
Yeah.
Or they see everybody else doing it casually, so hey, well, let's all do it.
Mm-hmm.
No. So when we go to our first tournament and we play with the people that have stepped out of that casual zone, it's up to us to be able to identify the way that they play the game and how different it is, and they can also help escalate that by teaching us again why these things are bad.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I think that's kind of the best way to put it. And once you transcend that barrier between casual and competitive in Smash Brothers, you're gonna notice that the better you get in the competitive sense, the easier it is to actually destroy people that do not understand how to play the game in a competitive way.
And I feel like that's a superpower, because when you go to every event has Smash.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be you, because I would take off all the CLG stuff, and you know those like open areas at PAXs and things? I would totally just sit down and be like, oh, hey guys, I've picked up this game a couple of times. Blah, you can just go ham, right?
I've done that before.
That is amazing. And everyone's just like, well, you guys are getting to the point where you're so known, though, that people will be like,
it's very hard
up.
to do it now.
Yeah, it is hard. But back in the back in the day, and here's the other thing too, right? I think I can learn from you guys for a few months and really go up there and train, which is something I've always wanted to do, and like start, because you guys will actually play with people that come up, which is really cool too.
Yeah.
Like you'll make it part of the culture as well. And there's a melee machine down in the main room of the CLG house.
I've been playing that.
Yeah, I know, and actually the CS:GO guys will play that too.
Yeah,
and that's really cool. So I feel like you can get to a point with Smash where if you focus on the competitive side of the game, like you're talking about, for let's say like 2 or 3 months, you'll get to the point where you can destroy most people that have never thought about that.
Yep.
Yeah, because even like a couple of practice sessions with you guys got me to the point where I was doing really well in like those 8-person free-for-alls in the free play area. Yeah, and that's all I need. I need to beat the randos. Yeah, I don't need to go 1-on-1 with Zero in a freaking best of 5, dude. That's too much. That level of stress. Oh, that's another really cool thing about Smash is, especially if you watch. Okay, I think this is actually most prominent in your play and also in SFAT's play. You get like this sometimes, but when the match is really intense, you guys are like pissed. Like you're just in it completely. like have you seen SFAT when he plays? Like his energy, and then like the way that he just like he'll jump out of it. We have a perfect shot. I forget who got this, but there's like a perfect shot of him. Do you remember who got it? There was a perfect shot of him jumping out of his chair, and he's like up like this, and we got a shot in still of that. Yeah, and it was amazing. Like the emotion that goes into playing this game at that level, I think is also something that I know I've only seen in other esports very rarely. Even in major tournaments, I saw it at Madison Square Garden with the LCS team when everybody jumped up and down and was just there. But for most of the time, the LCS team will like clean out people 3-0 and they'll just get up and drink some water and walk off. Like to the the professional status, like just like SEAL Team 6 or something. Like you guys are in it when you're in it.
It is.
It's intense.
It is intense.
Why? Like why is that so much different than other esports?
Man, well, first off, it's about how passionate you are about it, and this
For sure.
it can be similar to other esports as well. But like, I think for Smash Brothers, especially coming from a background where we didn't have much to where we are now, where we have so many opportunities in front of us, everybody wants a piece of the cake, essentially. And so the better you do, it just feels that much better. Like the harder you work, especially for Smash 4. Like Smash 4 might not be the most technical game, but it is hard. It is hard to be consistent, especially in a game where his character is very light. While she has all these good qualities about her, VoiD can lose a match to actual BS because of the rage mechanic.
I almost beat somebody without taking damage in like a professional tournament top 8. I almost beat him without taking damage, and I lost.
Why? Because of the rage mechanic?
Rage mechanic,
which is basically
myself messing up.
When you take damage, you deal more damage.
Your knockback gets stronger.
Oh, that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so again, his character actually got nerfed to the point where her weight is very, very light, which is great. But in his case, it's is
Sheik still S tier?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But
he has to play her very perfectly.
You have to play differently.
Not different. If I mess up once, I could lose a game.
So think of the stress that goes into that, like how focused he has to be in that regard. And then I play Ness. My character, while he used to be really good, has a very, very glaring weakness that people now in the meta take advantage of.
Yes.
So while I could be bodying someone,
his up B.
I can be destroying someone, but it doesn't take much for them to actually kill me at a low percent because they can get me because of my recovery.
My favorite part about Resin.
Yeah. So think of the stress. There's a lot of stress that goes into that. A lot of stress that goes into that. The fear while you're playing, the confidence, what the match is riding on. Is this a match to get into top 8? Are you in losers bracket? Is this going to be your final match of the tournament? And when you win, you just have to let that energy out. Like when we were at CEO Dreamland, Zero and Nairo are contenders for the best team in the world. Never beat them with anybody. Like me and my old partner False, we would get them to game 5. We'd get close, but we'd never beat them. Me and VoiD beat them on our first try, and I was so into it, man. I had that CLG Naruto headband on, man. I was going hard.
Yeah.
I was going hard, man. I
tried to stop that from happening. I couldn't do it.
It had to happen, dude.
It had to happen.
Like,
I understand.
We were supposed to win game 4.
It was past my authority level.
Oh, yes.
Beyond my pay grade.
You had no control.
I had no control.
I had to deal with it. Control. I had to look at it. I still have to.
It's upstairs.
You ran onto stage as Naruto, right?
Yes.
Because of a stream bet or something?
It's just Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter. Yeah, if this gets X retweets, I run on stage, which it instantly did.
Of course.
Great marketing.
Thank you.
Yes, I was really impressed by that. It's something that our social department should use as a case. That was pretty good. Because that is a really good marketing technique.
We took them to game 4, and you side beat off the stage. I remember.
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and so he died, and we lost. We were supposed to win that game. So now it's on the final game of the set. I'm thinking, man, I wanted to beat them for years. Like this has to be it, man. We got to do this. And sometimes when I look at you, I feel like you're either content or you're either nervous. And so I'm like, yo, I like try to help because I'm very charismatic. So I'm like, yo, dog, we got this, man. I'm trying to like bring up the morale. And then we clutched it out. And yeah, you just have to release that emotion, man, because that was like a statement. Not many people have beaten them in teams, and I hold our team to like a super high regard. I oftentimes say how we're like a top 5 team in the world. I will stick to that forever. We have the results, the wins to back it up. We're a really good team, and we're a special team because of the synergy that we have. Because some people don't really know how to play doubles correctly. You could have 2 good players on the same team, and even then, they don't either mesh together, they treat it as 2 separate 1v1s, or they just don't understand what really being a team is about outside of the game and inside of the game. It's 2 factors to it.
That's crazy. Recently, like since I've been practicing doubles like a fair amount, when I'll team with certain people, I've never felt this feeling in Smash before, especially as Sheik. So Sheik in doubles, I have a lot of trouble killing, which is what the partner is for.
Yeah.
But I also die really early. So if they end up just like getting a good combo on me, I'm probably at kill percent.
Yeah.
And if they hit me again, I'm probably dead.
Yeah.
But there have been a good amount of instances where I'm teaming with somebody I'm unfamiliar with against two people that aren't like at the top level of doubles, and I can just solo carry. Like even without like focusing too much on like working with my teammate, I'm just gonna do this.
It's basically TV1ing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I've never felt like that could be possible in Smash, especially not in this game.
Yeah.
But the fact that it is really enlightening. Like Teams actually has a lot of dynamic to it that people aren't aware of.
It's my favorite event.
Really?
It's always been my favorite event, even since Brawl. And in Brawl, like, I was this monster in singles, but I didn't care about singles, man. Like, I cared, but it wasn't what I really wanted to do. I cared about teams, man, because winning with your partner, especially if there's like your best friend, that's the best feeling, man, when you guys succeed together. And then it's like, it's fun to play too, because you got these crazy combos going on, and like, and you and your partner did that. Yeah, we did that.
You trust your teammate.
We body
in way too many scenarios.
Yes.
Yes. And so it feels good. And then when the crowd is seeing like these crazy combos that they didn't know could happen, or damn, why does it feel like these two are inside each other's brain? Like, that's so cool, man, because they get to see a layer of something that's treated as a side event. Like, it's really deep. It's super deep. And that's why I love teams, man. And I've been saying this too. Like, I feel like I know the exact reason why I excel in teams way more than I do in singles in most cases is because I care about it the most. I have the most fun playing it. And I find myself now trying to transfer over those same emotions to singles. But teams is my thing. I love it. And I love being able to win with him. And I had to pester him to team before.
Oh,
because
really?
he used to team with Larry, and I was just now moving over here.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what, man? I'm going to steal him. I wanted to steal him.
He did.
Yeah.
I told Larry, and he's like, if it's okay with you, man. And I was like, you know, CLG approached me. NAKAT's on CLG. This was, this was a little before you approached me. He asked me to be static.
Yeah. Static, meaning that
like
we're at the same event.
Yeah.
We're at the same event. We're teaming, and like we practice together whenever. If we're not at the same event, obviously, then we have to team with somebody else that's there. But majority of the majors, we're there at the same time. We're teaming. Boom. That's it. And so we either go out together or we win together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
One unit, just like PewFat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, does every event have a single and doubles portion at this point, or is doubles still behind singles?
Majority of them do.
Yeah,
now?
I'd say like 90% of events have doubles.
Is the hypes the same?
Yeah,
or equal?
I actually think that doubles is
better,
being seen in more of a light now, because
That's pretty cool.
When I do call it a side event, it still has a lot of entrants, but people, the rankings ride on singles performances, not doubles performances.
Okay.
So automatically singles is gonna have that much more of an impact on PGR, things of that
singles
sort.
has more individual entrants.
Yeah.
Singles, like, you can be a strong player in singles, as we've talked about, but you won't be as good in doubles. So those players might not enter doubles. Or if that player enters doubles, it's not as crazy as them being in singles.
Yeah,
got it.
Because some characters are also bad in teams. Like Abadango is an excellent Mewtwo player, the best Mewtwo. And Mewtwo, at least in my opinion, is not that good of a character in teams. So because of that, Abadango is not able to really use Mewtwo in teams. He has to go a different character he's trained, like Meta Knight. But it's cool, man, because the character compositions, dude, it's so sick.
So your passion for like working with each other and just the intensity that if you make a mistake it costs you so much.
Yes.
That's what really drives the difference between Smash and other esports, you think?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. Like another thing I hold in high regards is the way you treat your partners as well. This like everything
and even your enemies, right?
Because
people in the community.
Well, like it doesn't feel like. I mean, I know there's drama in the Smash community, and actually, hopefully, we'll tap into some of that. But Mostly, pretty much everybody's like on the same page, right? Like there's not like a lot of like cliques and niches and stuff. I mean, like there's crews and separate groups that would like who you prefer to hang out with.
But mostly
really
everybody, everybody hangs out with each other.
Yeah.
You'll always have someone that doesn't like you or someone that might hate you, but it's very minimum.
And maybe that's because of the necessity of how you train.
Yeah.
Because you don't have like scrims like CS or like LCS does, where you can just like go up against Cloud9 and then you have a straight. It's just a fight. You like to schedule the fight.
You're basically just choosing everything.
Yeah.
We do our own thing.
Yeah, and you don't really have practice schedules either, or any kind of real structure. And we have been we as all CLG together, we haven't really been successful in implementing any kind of system for that. Nor have you really been that interested.
I just feel like for Smash, it just won't. It won't work. It won't really change much.
But then
it's hard.
So how do you, like, if we wanted to, if we all agree that, like, let's say, okay, next 3 to 4 months we're just gonna get after it, and you're gonna try to become 10 or 20% better.
Yes.
What would it take to do that?
Contacting people.
Well, outside of that, it's just when I was getting better, a month before EVO 2015, I wouldn't even say a month to up to 45 days before EVO 2015, and 3 weeks before Apex 2015, me and my friend Charles, he goes by Korean, he actually, like, we had a training schedule, like, wake up at this time, find, like, footage.
You did?
Yes, find footage that you want to study. This was 2015.
Okay.
Find footage that you want to study, study it, go into training room, practice these things, 30 minutes, practice this matchup, talk about it, blah, blah, blah,
wow.
go to sleep, next day. And I did that going into Apex 2015. And then going into EVO, it was even more intense. I was like, all right, training room, 60 minutes, do this.
Did you schedule this yourself? Like, did you guys actually make this happen?
It was just us, yes. It was me, him, and we had a third player lead the trilogy. Which the first time I didn't have the third player, so it was just me and him. But having the third player was like, all right, you guys find footage that you want to study. All of us study it on our own, like in the same room, and then we talk about it. Then me and him play each other in this matchup. Me and him play each other in this matchup. Talk about it. What are you having trouble with?
Yeah.
Like actually.
Wow.
Like,
so that's like an actual structured schedule. Yeah. What did that make? I mean, I could already.
Yes.
I don't even need to ask you the question because I imagine that would have made a huge difference.
It was stressful, of course.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of what you guys are the top 0.001% of your craft. Like that's kind of goes with the territory. Yeah. I've always kind of wondered like what would happen if we actually did something like that.
I have to. That's why I like.
It's
for me. It helped a lot because I had a good friend doing it with me. Like, I had somebody that I was familiar with, helping me with the schedule, and it wasn't as like.
What if you had like a coach or like a?
No, I think it would be beneficial, but it's very hard to hire that for Smash because like the other teams.
Well, they have dedicated analysts.
Yeah. Smash is so unique that you actually have to get somebody from Smash in order to truly understand.
And it doesn't seem like Smash has a community of people who just analyze the game.
Nope.
There are some,
but they also typically play competitively. If they do that. So there's not a lot, like you'll have league players who are actually silver, but they know the game in and out. And it's like Tony is, I think, like when you really classify him, he's like a diamond player. What's our head coach of the LCS team?
Yeah.
He's unquestionably the best analyst type, like mechanical understanding of the game person in the LCS.
Yeah.
Unquestionably. He understands more about the game than anyone in North America. And maybe anyone on Earth. He's incredibly good. And so he's not like represented and challenger. Now maybe if he played a lot, he would do that because of the game knowledge, but it's like two separate things, whereas in Smash, to get good, you need to understand that stuff.
Yes.
And so you have to be on the same page.
Yes. So even more credibility to his friend. I struggled against Bayonetta. Bayonetta. She has Witch Twist.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, that was insane before it was nerfed.
Yeah, but
it was
still insane.
Still pretty bad. So
I feel like there's a window now. But
that's what I'm about to say.
We just witch timed all day when it first came out. Remember we were playing? Yeah, and there was that meme where it's like, good heavens, look at the time, and it's witch time every time. Yeah, because that's what it was.
His friend Korean actually like sat down with me for, it had to have been an hour at least, twice, 2 days, and we literally just repeatedly. I had to SDI out of the witch twist.
Oh, I remember this.
And
yeah, I remember when you did this.
I never. Well, since then, I haven't lost to a Bayonetta again. Because they can't kill me off of the combo.
So you literally applied 2 hours of deliberate practice, and you got over a pretty critical issue in your gameplay.
Because it's a critical matchup. So
that is why I'm saying that if you had an actual structure, it might make a huge difference.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah,
like
it's
I've tried many times, especially like even being here.
Yeah.
And the times like I have done it on my own while I've been here,
That's
and
tough,
it's worked
though.
really well.
Mhm.
But like I said, the one thing that I felt helped was just like having somebody else doing it with you, having somebody else there.
Yeah,
to
like
help you
doing it
practice
alone
different things.
is difficult. But I feel like if we did have a coach, like I would trust Charles. Charles helped me. He's helped him plenty of times. I actually saw his schedule once before.
Really?
It's crazy.
He's good, and he's the only person I can actually think of that comes to mind.
Mhm.
And so I owe him a lot off of that because I had to literally fight a Bayonetta. I was preparing for a Bayonetta in my pool for Civil War, destroyed him, just beat him.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to literally that. That if I had not done that with him, that match potentially could have went a different way. And so yes, it does work for Smash. It is hard to do by yourself, but for Smash again, like you actually have to find someone that's able to actually do it.
Mhm.
Because while you said like there could be silver players that understand the game, in Smash it's very hard to find someone that's not good at the game that knows everything about it.
And
It's
even
very
then,
difficult.
if you are very good at the game, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
So why are you able to hit such insane rankings when, at least for the past, in fact, I think you've done your best performance being alone in that room the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Not because of being alone in that room, but you're doing something to keep your play up. How are you doing that?
It's just, this goes back to you asked like how a person would turn into a casual or turn into a competitive player
Yeah,
from being casual.
if I'm playing Smash right now, yeah.
So one thing I think that helped me a lot is more so just being very open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one thing about Smash when it comes to doing it on your own is, let's say I'm playing League and I want to learn Lee Sin, and I'm already at a high caliber level, so I go into solo queue and I'm fighting other high caliber level of players at any point of the day.
And they're on their native champions.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Smash, you don't have this. You don't have that accessibility to just practice. So one thing that I think I would say helps me a lot, even if I'm like practicing with somebody that's purely like every game they're playing me, they're like, oh, I messed up here, oh, I have a bad habit here, and they're learning like from every game. I always make sure like, hey, like, do you have any tips for me? What do you think I'm doing wrong? And just getting so many opinions, it's like if they think I'm messing up here, there's some reason behind that.
Okay.
Like, even...
But you're not physically playing with anyone.
No, like online. If I were to play with someone...
Is that how you're practicing?
For the most part.
I also
I'll
see
either,
you against computers a lot.
I'll either play online or I'll sit just in like a sandbox mode training.
Yeah, that's what I've seen you do. Yeah.
And from there, it's just, I just think about the game a lot. Just like, in this situation, if I do this, what would happen? If I do this, what would happen? And when it comes to actually practicing, like, I very rarely practice to like play to win. Like, very rarely do I practice to improve my play to win. I will practice and I will be like, all right, I needed to work on this, work on this. I wanted to know what this is like, work on that. Or I'll go into training room and be like, okay, what would happen if I do this? And then just assume all the different scenarios and be like, okay, next time when this happens in an actual match, keep it in mind and test it out. Either test it out or be like, would this work, like, in that split second? So I try to get rid of all of the in-between. Like, if I get a hit, it can be like, oh, am I going to do A, B, C, or D? But let's go into training room and let's be like, okay, well, for the most part, only A and C are good.
Okay.
So let's just keep it on those two. Then when I'm in an actual match, it's like, all right, which one does better between A and C?
I see.
So it's more so...
Basically split testing your results and seeing what happens. Yeah.
And I think the main thing I can just credit to that is when I have time, I do my homework. Like, I don't just sit around and just, like, try to practice other things. I'm actually really bad with majority of the cast because whenever I'm playing, no matter who I'm playing, I'm always trying to do new things, trying to learn new things. So it's more so about like the intent that I have while I'm playing. I always have an intent. I always have a purpose for like what I'm trying to practice.
Outcome, something you want to accomplish.
And everything of that, I have to like, if I don't understand why, I don't actually like know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And of course, like the homework goes into understanding why. Like if I do something and I know it's safe, why do I know it's safe? Why would it ever not be safe? Why would this be wrong? When should I do this? Just like understanding the why behind everything, I think is really important. And then actually like when you're practicing, have a desirable outcome. Don't just go into practice like, all right, time to get better. No, that you have to break it down. You can't just go into practice thinking, I'm going to get better. What are you going to get better at? How are you going to get better? Like, who's going to help you get better? You know? And sometimes, like, the answer is yourself, because you can help yourself get better. You don't necessarily have to be playing somebody at such a high skill level to force you to either play at your best or force you to learn new things. I think that mentality is really what carries me into being, like, a strong player.
That is awesome. I think that's probably the best like look into an actual like pros thinking that I've ever heard. Yeah, it's way up there. And now you play with a lot of people. You differ because you travel a lot, so you often have the opportunity to play with a lot of people. However, you are not consistently in the ranks at the same level as VoiD is, right? That's fair to say. Do you think that is because that you do you not do as much of that deliberate practice, or have you been looking at that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Let's see. It's more of a mindset thing. My mindset nowadays in singles has not been the best, and it's a mixture of my fault because I just let things get to me that shouldn't. That I knew that myself in the past wouldn't have bothered me. So like me as a brawl player, and then me early Smash 4. There are like two people in the community that remind me of myself. One being him, and the other one being a player named Cosmos.
Okay.
And so I think me currently right now, I'm trying to regain that composure that I once had and regain that discipline that I once had. Because it's not that I don't practice, it's literally it's a mental thing, honestly. I remember I told you in the past that I was really upset with the way I was performing, and then the backlash I was receiving too, and that kind of broke me down. Like
and at one point you were considering taking a break, right?
Yes, it broke me down like severely, and so now it's just been a constant climb of rebuilding myself, which has been good, but I'm not all the way back yet.
Okay,
I'm not all the way back yet. But
that wasn't exclusive to you, by the way, as well. Kevin actually had a period where he
I remember. I spoke to him about it.
Yeah,
I almost quit once.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Before my big breakout tourney, because
just before?
Maybe like two weeks.
That's just before.
Yeah.
That's really there's like a image on the internet. It's like a motivational image. There's two people digging a hole.
Oh yes.
Have you seen this? And then one person, he just puts the pick and he walks away because he's just like, I'm never going to find anything. And the other person is continuing to dig, finds the diamonds. Yeah. And that I love that because most people quit when they're right there. But it's also interesting about Smash is you actually have the decision to take a break because most people can't, like LCS players
can't take
or
a break.
CS.
Yeah.
There's no way. Actually, no other esport I know of you can do that. Yeah. Like I think only FG. You can really only do that.
And that goes to the lack of structure as well.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a good thing.
I actually pros and cons.
Well, definitely. Yeah, but I actually think like that esports in general would be healthier and more interesting if the competitive scene of CS and LCS was not so frequent and intense. Because
that's what's happening with Smash.
Do you think so?
It's getting that way. That's my video for today. Tournament oversaturation.
Because from what I know, counting last week is about 8 straight weekends of tournaments, and it's like
national tournaments, like big ones.
Yeah,
big enough
to
warrant American players traveling.
Well, I think this is a problem in esports in general.
Traveling is so tiring.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
I just got back from
multiple times.
Missouri, Seattle, and then LA. And one thing that I am like you about is like you actually. Despite, I know you say travel is tiring, but you like traveling.
I do it.
But you don't like traveling.
I feel like
I used to.
I feel like
that was how I was too. I was like, oh my goodness, I love going everywhere. And then I joined CLG.
One day
and
or like 1 week.
You just fly so many places. Yeah.
I feel like I have to though.
I
feel like I can't miss this event. I have to go. And
well,
so
you
I force
also
myself to go.
You also have another dynamic that I want to get into later, which is kind of the party scene.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, and not in a bad way. I mean, I want to know more about that.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I want to explain it.
The third part of this podcast is all the scene. So I'm holding off for that. This is about like the pros and stuff, but
about that practice though.
The oversaturation. Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, about the practice. So I think it does benefit me a lot to be able to practice with other people. I see the best of myself when I'm practicing against other people as well, different play styles, even different levels too. Sometimes I take stuff from people that are lower level than me. That's just the way it can work. It's the way you think about it.
You can actually learn from people that are way worse than you, right?
Yes.
Because I've actually talked to you guys, and I'm like, I apologize for being this bad and wasting your time. And both of you were like, no, like this is really good. I can try stuff. I can yeah. And also, it's because is this right? It's because people that are really bad at the game, they don't do predictable things. Right? Because
exactly, man. I hate that shit.
Yeah, because pros they actually learn to play a certain way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pros follow like a certain
meta. Yeah.
You're almost always looking for that best option.
Yeah, and a random guy like he'll just come in and just like with Rose, I'll just be like A up. I don't know, and I'll just try everything. I'm just doing everything I can to win, but I have no idea what the sequence of events should be.
And I get hit, and I'm like, wow, I couldn't react to that. So
and
that's a problem.
Yeah,
but
which is really a testament to the game's design that it's actually so good that it can actually still make it worth it for you guys to play against someone.
Yeah. So I think my issue lies in the way I think of myself.
So okay,
that's where the issue lies. It's the way I think of myself. It's not the discipline or how much I practice. Because you watch my Snapchat, so you can most of the time see what I'm doing, but I don't really put Smash stuff on my Snapchat.
No, so the day that I talked to him about the Smash, about what's going on in his Snapchat, you can blast it, by the way. What is it? What's your Snapchat name?
Oh, LOF NAKAT.
LOF NAKAT. And do you have you don't have your Snapchat, do you?
I very rarely do.
Yeah, like I swear, the day that I told you that I'm watching your Snapchat, the next day there's a still picture of the screen, practice time, Smash. Right?
I did do that. Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah, you're just like it's all so professional now. It's like, well, I'm getting into the game, practicing, guys. Like, and then like the last 18 ones before that were you in clubs.
I definitely don't put Smash stuff on my Snapchat, but
why not?
I don't know.
I think it's cool. It'd be cool. Like people want to follow your. Well, I guess it is your life.
If I'm practicing,
different part
people
of
will either see it. While
you're
I'm
like
streaming.
Batman, dude. Like you've got your Batman side is your pro side. And then you're Bruce Wayne, which is like renting out clubs and all kinds of other stuff.
Dude,
you're definitely Batman.
It's my personality, man.
Yeah.
As much as I love the game and competing, I know when to switch gears. I know when I have to like get into it, and then when I can like have fun. Because if it's a weekend and there's no tournament, sure, like I can't go to a club in the afternoon, early afternoon in the morning. I'll spend time playing a lot.
We both.
However,
we've both seen you do that.
Wait, party in the morning?
No. No one parties in the morning.
Yeah,
you're asleep.
Early afternoon, no parties.
Yeah, but if you party till 5 in the morning, it counts as the morning.
Oh, come on, man. You know what I mean.
If you karaoke until 5 or 6,
you know what I mean.
You're in the next day at that point.
You know what I mean.
You're actually well into the next day.
You know what I mean.
But do you know what I mean?
I'm talking about, I wake up in the morning, I don't listen to be like, oh, it's time to party.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I do my
I know
daily
some
stuff.
other guys like that.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I do my daily stuff, and then I play. Because I definitely play the game almost every day, whether it be streaming or me just playing somebody in my house.
Your stream is amazing.
I appreciate
love your
that.
stream. Still subscribed.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Personal subscription, not through CLG. That's right.
Yeah, on the Malexia account.
It is because I really like your stream and I really enjoy your playthroughs of other games as well.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
But
I tend to watch like entire playthroughs of Resident Evil or any kind of thing on the cat stream. Yeah, they're way too entertaining.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
man. I put a lot of time into that.
You do, and your community loves you.
Yeah.
So this is I didn't actually know about this. Oversaturation of events is a real thing.
That's real.
Yeah, I knew about it from where it's especially prominent in CS. I think CS is the worst esport for it because there are 3, and there almost was 4 if the PEA had gotten off the ground. There was a lot of leagues that were actually gunning
4 like individual leagues.
Yeah, easily, right? You have ECS, ESL, ECS, Face It, right? Then you have couple of other ones, right?
You have your
DreamHack. Well, that's all the other IEM, and then all the other separate tournaments. So what it ends up being is that they're actually competing every weekend, but it's not just competing every weekend. They're competing internationally. So they're going to like Poland, and then the next week they're in the Ukraine. The next week they're in America again. The next week they're on the East Coast. I mean, no one travels like our CS:GO team. It's bananas.
Nope.
And then not even a close. A second to that though is the LCS team, which they have to go. They only stay in LA for most part.
Which is great.
But it is great.
I want that.
But they're constantly competing, and they're competing in these games at such a level that what's happening, I think, is this is just my own theory, and like I like to have opinions.
Dude, it's stress.
It's not only stress; it's actually really bad for the scene in general. And here's why: if you watch CLG versus TSM, which is like a classic hype thing, it manifests in Smash, like it manifests in LCS most of all. It manifests everywhere, where everybody knows there's that rivalry. That rivalry is real. It's real between owners. It's real between Reggie and I. It's real. And like that's not on script. Like we actually don't like TSM, and they don't like us. When CLG versus TSM happens in the LCS, it's a pretty hype event.
Yeah.
When it happens 5 times, the fans are just like, okay, we get it.
No, we've
right?
seen this like a month ago.
Yeah, and I've always felt like if you had one, and I'm using this to make an analogy to Smash, if you had one best of 3 per season against each team, and you lowered the actual time, you'd have so much more hype around the events. And football figured this out a really long time ago. You can't play the same players every game.
Am I correct to say that the LCS looks a lot emptier these days?
In terms of viewership?
Yes, like the actual going there. I don't see as many people there.
Well, they changed the stage, but I do think that there has so there's this is a very controversial topic, and I think that some of the lack of viewership has been because other platforms have appeared. So YouTube is now a place where you can watch the LCS, and Twitter and Facebook, I think, also have live streams. So
have updates, like constant updates.
It may be that it's not lowering; it's just better distributed. But there's certainly kind of a feeling around the game of less people watching, and I get that feeling. But whenever I talk to Riot about it, it doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah. Okay.
But I am in that camp that there's a viewership decline. But that's all. But I have no data to support that. Like I really don't know, honestly. But it's sort of, you can only kind of like with a lot of esports you can feel, especially if you're in it like we are. Yeah. Like with Smash, you can just feel it's growing. Like you watch every CEO, you watch every Apex, you watch every consecutive Evo, and you see the numbers growing in the tournaments. You see the stages just gradually expanding, and you get these. It feels like Smash is growing. Yeah. But it's a little bit weird with the LCS, and also it's undoubtedly in CS:GO too that's growing too, even though the game is much older. The thing with LCS that I think that is really an issue is this saturation of. That's why I'm worried about you guys saying that for Smash, particularly because it has 2 effects. Second one is really relevant to you. The first one is that it makes the game less interesting for viewers, which doesn't affect you except in a very macro way, but it's still disconcerting. The second thing though is that it really, really, really contributes to player burnout.
Yes.
And burnout is very spooky.
Yes.
I'm like, so this is probably something you guys don't know because I've never told you this, but for CLG management, the number 1 issue that we're afraid of, besides actually telling a good story and doing content, is actually player burnout. And so like having a player be like, I just can't keep doing this. It's just too much. And that I think is something that nobody, even the top tier talent in the NBA has far less obligation to actual hours put into the game than you do. And at some point, when competitiveness gets to the extent that you are competing at like the emotion you put into the game that we're just talking about, if you have to do that every weekend, you guys are like dunzo. It's just going to be so hard. So what happened? Like, how do we? I feel like that's going to get worse before it gets better. Cause
I made a tweet.
Anybody can start a Smash tournament.
I made a tweet talking about this. I literally said,
"You're going to do a video, right? You said
the video's out already."
Oh, good.
I made a tweet either yesterday or the day before. I said, I don't think I'm going to go to CEO 2017. There's too many tournaments, too many regionals and majors happening back to back.
Okay.
And, like, I'm tired. I can't. And so then TO started
Did you get roasted?
It. No. The TOs agreed with me. Apparently, they've been discussing this behind the scenes, that they agree that there's too many majors happening at the same time or too many tournaments happening back to back. And then other players commented. Cloud9 Ally, he's saying that he's getting burned out because it's too much.
And the travel.
It's too much. The traveling, like, you could afford it. You could have all the sponsors in the world.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. If you keep playing.
You're human.
Yes, you're human. You're tired from traveling. Traveling is tiring. Living out of a suitcase is not fun.
Yeah.
And just competing at that level all the time is stressful.
And we kind of know what the solution is to this, huh? It's going to be Nintendo actually has to come in and say, we're going to do a circuit.
That is the easiest solution.
But let's talk about that a bit. Is that there? And I guess that's a.
You want to talk about Nintendo support?
Well, it's a good transition point into the scene, right? Yeah. Where
let's talk about Nintendo.
there's a very traditional style of Japanese management.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that.
What do you want to know, man?
Well, I would say out of all, so I guess I can keep going.
Yeah.
Out of all of the, I have the privilege of talking to a lot of game publishers, and so I've been to the Blizzard HQ. I've been everywhere but Valve. I'm convinced though that Valve has actually been taken over by robots, because there are 200 people I think that work at that company, 250 or something. So Riot Games, I've said this a lot. Riot Games has over 2,000 employees. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's right. It's somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 internationally for one game. Like, granted, they're probably working on other games. Like, it could be assumed that they are. I'm not sure, but they have 1,500 to 2,000 employees. Valve has 250 employees, and yet they run all of Steam, all of CS:GO, all of Dota, right? And all those platforms are respectable in their own right.
Yep.
So and furthermore, like I said, I have relationships with people in all of the game publishing studios. In all of my time in esports, which is formidable, and all my time in gaming, I've never met a person from Valve. And I don't know many people that have met a person from Valve. So I am convinced that company has been taken over by a rogue AI. That is just cranking out games at an insane rate.
If a rogue AI patches my game correctly, sign me up.
Yes.
And so out of all the publishers that have the most communication, Riot Games is probably the best in terms of communication. I may not always agree with what they communicate, but they are certainly the best at communicating. Then probably a close second is Blizzard. Valve, I think, just sends me messages that the AI determines need to be sent, and it's never a conversation, but it's just the computer determines what the lesser meat bag needs to know. And then I've never talked to Nintendo ever. I don't think.
Hey, I met Reggie, man. I met my boy Reggie.
Reggie? Who's that?
You don't know Reggie?
No.
His body is ready, dude. Tell him who Reggie is.
We're lost. The comb's back.
Tell him who Reggie is.
It's not time for the comb yet, though. You got to keep listening to the podcast to wait for whatever the comb is.
Isn't he the president? Or either president or a CEO.
Wait, is that the guy that wears the hat? The head?
No.
It's another dude. He's on Splatoon team.
Splatoon's still big in Japan.
Dude, I don't want to do it.
Splatoon is the true esport.
Anyway. All right. So, I'm sorry that you haven't been able to contact Nintendo, but it's very difficult. Now, I won't sit here and say that Nintendo is, the enemy of any sort, because actually they've shown a lot more reach to Smashers.
Well, recently.
Yeah, like Nintendo sponsoring some events. In what way?
Keeping in mind how long the scene has been around before they started doing that.
I don't know exactly how they sponsor us. They do bring the Switch, and they bring early versions of their new games to some majors. That's something that they do. And I know JC is very engaged with the community. He works for the Nintendo Treehouse, so he's really engaged. I know. Oh no, I forgot his name. Oh no, how did I forget his name?
Well, they started.
He works for Nintendo.
Oh.
Obviously, yeah. Sorry, I forgot
NAKAT.
his name, but
Okay.
regardless, they're starting to show some more outreach towards the community, but not in the way that I guess would best suit us.
Of course.
And I don't even think that it's an issue with Nintendo of America. It's more so
It's an issue with Nintendo of Japan.
Japan
Yeah.
and the way Nintendo of Japan probably
And their
sees,
culture is, yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And so I personally, as much as I'd love Nintendo support to support competitive Smash, I can't envision a reality of that happening.
Even now?
Even now, as sad as that is, and I hope I'm totally ignorant and I don't know what I'm talking about. But come on, man, it's been years.
Yeah,
years.
It's been a really
how
long
many
time.
documentaries? How many videos? How many tournaments do we have to show you that there is a different layer to this game, especially in America and even in Japan, actually, for you guys to be like, you know what? We should invest in this. Or you know what? We should at least show them support for playing our 13-year-old game.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how old Melee is. It's probably 13 years
It's
old.
around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
like-
I think did it come out in 04?
I don't remember.
It might be older than 14.
Dude, like
Not
these
sure.
games are timeless for us.
Yeah, of
so
course.
we just keep playing them.
You can just
like,
keep playing Smash until another Smash comes out. And then you
Yes.
can still play the old Smash.
That
yeah.
game,
Yeah.
Smash Brothers, sells their consoles.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody tells me.
Zelda.
I know, man. Zelda. Come on, man.
Smash 2.
If
Yeah,
Smash-
but Zelda... Well, okay, it's fair to say that Zelda sells consoles initially.
Yeah.
And then it stops because people play it. But Smash is ongoing.
I
Everybody,
think if
yeah.
Smash. I think if we had a launch for Smash in the Switch and Zelda in the Switch, the demand would be absolutely insane. If it was Smash Brothers, like
You think it would be higher than the Zelda game?
I'd be willing to bet my career on it.
That is a...
I know
do you
it.
agree?
I know it.
I think
When there are Nintendo Directs going on and you look at the chat room, everybody's asking for
But
Smash.
there's a lot of... That's interesting because there's a lot
there's a lot
of...
casual Zelda.
Yeah, like I think you might be underestimating like the number of people.
I know how
that-
strong Zelda is, man. I just know how strong Smash is.
I think
I know it.
probably one of the best points I could have is the sense that Smash was released on 3DS.
Mhm.
I feel like Zelda, like a main console Zelda game, of course, is going to be way bigger. But I feel like from what I do know, 3DS has a lot of good games, but nothing...
3DS has a lot of good
like,
games, actually. Yeah.
Nothing on the 3DS I think will come close to Smash sales on the 3DS.
Really?
And
It was insane.
the thing about Smash sales on the 3DS...
It beat out like Fire Emblem and like a lot of their...
Probably.
Yeah, top
Like,
tier,
I don't have the data,
The stats,
but
yeah.
I would assume so. But the
Mhm.
thing about that is Smash on the 3DS, in my eyes, had a lifespan of a month.
Yeah, it was really short. That's
People
true.
bought
Mhm.
Smash on the 3DS so they could play it until the Wii U version came out.
That's true. That's true. Completely true.
So just thinking about that, like not only that, people bought 3DSs to play Smash for a month
yeah.
before the Wii U version came out. I think that in
I'm
itself
a
is just
fiend.
like
I
a
bought the
statement.
Japanese version because I wanted the game early.
Wow.
Yes, I was that dedicated.
But I mean that makes sense.
That's the
Yeah,
competitive. That's the
it's
competitive
something
side.
you would do.
But,
Yeah.
like, dude, when it comes to Smash Brothers, it's like that feeling of Christmas as a child all over again. Like whether it's a new character, any new news about it. That's why even to this day, even though production has halted for anything new for the game, every Nintendo Direct that happens to this day, people are still wondering, are they going to show Smash? Something new for Smash?
Yep.
The chat is always filled with Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I watch every
Always.
time. Yeah,
Always.
just waiting. The
Always.
last one
They,
had nothing.
and they always do
Yeah.
that thing, like, oh, we have one more announcement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo,
They
Smash
talk about
for
Splatoon
Switch.
for like 6 hours.
Splatoon!
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
great, yeah, fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
The guy
yeah.
comes out with the 2 guns, and we're just like, yeah, the whole chat's like, oh my god, forehead.
So, like,
Yeah.
maybe one day Nintendo of Japan will open.
Well,
wake
it's
up.
a very reserved culture, and particularly a lot of the people in top level roles in Japan are old, and I run into this when I'm trying to work with people and try to explain esports.
Yeah.
In the same way, where I'm running into people that don't know what Twitch is or Facebook.
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with that, it's pretty hard to actually convince them that esports is a thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a level of degrees. Like it's like, yeah, Facebook is the actual thing that people use. Like Twitter is a thing that people use. Actually, lots of people. And then they go, okay, I kind of get that. And then you have to go, gaming is a thing. And they go, okay, I get that. And then also people compete in games in stadiums, and they fill out entire stadiums, and thousands of people watch. And they're like, all right.
They're like, thousands of people watch somebody like play Mario. That's when you have to actually explain what they're watching. Like, they're not watching somebody play Mario.
Yeah.
They're not watching somebody like jump over Donkey Kong's barrels.
But it is changing. I was in this thing happened. It made me think about it. I was in Seattle last week, and I was giving a keynote at UW, and I walked into a Evergreens, which is like a salad place, and I was checking out at the counter. A really cute girl was checking me out. And not, checking me out, but checking me out. I'm checking the salad out. Yes. Completing the transaction as ordered. And she leans in really close and she's like, "Are you a gamer?" Like really interested, right? And I was like, "Yeah." And then it blew my mind because a few years ago we were the nerds, right? You're supposed to if I'm identified as a gamer, she's supposed to chase me out of that. Yeah, she should chase me out of there. Throw the salad. Go crazy, right? I was like, at what point did the nerds become what was cool? Because we left the that side of the sports and that side of it because we were tired of that culture. We wanted to create something for ourselves.
Yeah.
And now it's we got all the people from music and entertainment that are coming in oh, what you're doing is cool. Can we be a part of that? Well, no, man. We started this thing. What are you doing? And it was really interesting to see that it is changing. I am getting recognized on airplanes. Is that happening to you as well?
Of course.
Did you secure a phone number of some sort because you were recognized in a restaurant?
Now, look. I ain't gonna say I did all that, but all right, I'll tell the real story.
You were wearing a CLG jersey. Dude, you were there?
No.
This is in Mexico. Oh. Now look, man, I was
thinking
hungry.
Of a different story.
Wait.
Slow down.
You can tell that one next. I was in Mexico. Yeah, wait.
You don't know what I'm thinking. What do you want to whisper?
Come here, man.
The mic's gonna pick it up.
NorCal.
That's fine.
Okay, fine.
I was in Hooters. Not for any real reason. I just wanted food, right? So it was in Mexico.
Of course.
And I was washing my clothes, dude, and the only thing I had was my CLG jersey. So I popped that on, right? And then Guitaro, you guys know Guitaro, he's stupid. He was like, "Oh, you're a loser wearing that CLG jersey in public." He was trying to humiliate me on Snapchat.
Yes,
I was like, "No problem, bro." So I sat there. This waiter comes over. You know Hooters waiters. She was really cute. And so she was like, "Oh my God, is that a CLG jersey?" And I was like, "Why, yes, it is a CLG jersey." She's like, "Oh my God, I love League of Legends." I was like, "Oh, you do? Well, I play for them." She's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, girl. My name's NAKAT. I play Smash." She's like, "I love Smash. I know you do."
Is this exactly how this played out? I feel like there was way more spaghetti.
I feel like it's very.
I feel like there was way more spaghetti. This is like an "Are That Happened" story.
No, this is
even though it did happen. I actually saw the snap. Okay, yeah, exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
So this is how it happened.
Now, all right, it wasn't entirely, the conversation didn't entirely go like that, but it went a little something.
But you
like
did get a picture. All I know is that you got a picture and a phone number.
Yeah,
I saw the evidence.
She was a fan. She wanted to take a picture. She wanted my phone number, and Mexico.
At the end,
Mexico.
But I mean, of course, dude. Yeah, there's other stories too of that happening.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It comes with it.
And what a great transition into the other side of Smash.
The other side.
Yes,
I'm very not well versed in the other side.
Is that right?
He's lying.
No.
Yeah, I think you are. I think you're not consciously.
He's lying to a degree.
To a degrry?
To a degree, he's correct, but to the other degree, he's not.
What am I? What?
I know you more than they do.
Wait, what am I lying about?
You read to talk about parties and stuff. I see you sometimes.
Oh, okay. That's true. There are many parties at Smash events.
Yeah.
What questions do you have? I can answer.
I have I have endless questions about this, but okay. One good way to do these sort of things is to draft this against another scene.
Yeah.
Okay, for example. So there is no scene like Smash when it comes to after parties and things like that. I agree, man. There is nothing even close, actually. So like, oh, absolutely. Like,
Interesting.
League of Legends is, I think they're so tired after those games that they basically just want to go home, hang out with a few people that are pretty close to them, and kind of get off the grid.
That's something I can add on to a point way farther back.
Yeah.
How, like, just the people in Smash are way different from, like, the people in other communities.
They are, yeah.
One thing that I feel, it might have been you that, like, brought it up is how Smash people are more, like, down to earth than other communities. It's because we're always interacting with each other. We're always interacting with people we don't know. Like, we travel to events, talking to people from different countries.
Think of the barrier when it comes to certain esports. So League of Legends, for example, the players in League are so, would I say put on a pedestal? Maybe, but like, the crowd cannot get to the players. They're on stage, the players are there. The only time they're going to really be able to interact with those guys is when they're taking their picture outside.
Well, even then it's doctored, there's a line, there's a setup thing,
And Smash,
you guys are sitting in the crowd.
If someone wanted to come up to me
they just
and say, yo, man, what's good? And shake my hand, they could do that. Or, yo, I'm about to knock you out. They can knock me out if they want.
Which is a much scarier thing, of course.
Yes,
something but, like, you have to worry about.
The interaction between players and, like, fans or just everybody in general, there's no barrier. You can literally go up to anybody at any
And I've seen so many, like, stages that are maybe, like, the difference between the crowd is the height of this table.
That's it.
And you're both sitting in front of a TV, and there's people as close as we are that are yelling at you.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, let's go, boy, let's go! Like right here. Yeah, it's like this kind of thing.
That's literally how it is. But I love it. I have one worry, though. I just have one worry.
The knockout thing.
No, gun control.
What? Yes, that's on the same
same
thing. Yeah, gun control.
Oh, is that a legitimate worry?
It's something it could I think of, like, because nobody does back checks at tournaments for Smash at least.
So this was a concern for the LCS for a long time. And Riot actually put in a metal detector.
It only takes one time for it to happen. One time, one person to get upset or whatever reason they might have, and if they wanted to get someone, they could just do it.
And the thing is, like,
I personally want security at Smash tournaments, like an actual like back checks. I want that. It's never happened, or if it has happened, it's very once.
This is a really interesting issue, but I feel like it's such a bigger issue because you have to attack things like packs before you even get to like Smash tournaments, because like there is not even a very reliable way. They do bag checks at packs, but I'm pretty sure if someone wants to get something in,
the bag checks they do at packs are terrible.
Yeah.
I gave my bag, just pat the bag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, are you serious?
And
do you know the kind of people that are in there? Like, if I was evil and I want to get someone really important to power in packs, there is a chance that I could do that.
A very good chance.
And I hate that feeling.
And I mean, we're talking about crowds of people.
Yes.
Like thousands of people.
I think about this stuff even at Smash tournaments. Maybe I shouldn't because nothing has happened in all the years of competing, but do I really wait until it happens?
You don't want to wait until it happens.
Yeah.
Because
that was going to be another topic I was going to have for a video on my channel.
You have to tackle the issue before like it actually becomes an issue.
Yes.
If you wait until it becomes an issue, then you're already too late.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to something as dangerous
but that's against
as
human nature.
Life.
I mean, humans only respond to urgency.
Yeah.
It's going to have to happen. I mean, it's the most terrible thing to say, but it's going to have to happen in the community.
For people to actually care about it.
And that's the thing, is that in all the time that we've been gamers, something really awful hasn't happened.
Pokemon. They brought guns to the Pokemon.
Yes. No. They brought it, but 2 people qualified for Pokemon, the trading card game, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Pokemon Trading Card Game World Championship. And they were going to like shoot up the place.
Really?
But they posted about it on Facebook, so they got caught.
Great.
Before they got like to the doors, if I'm not mistaken, they got caught.
See? So do we wait for that?
Yes,
or do
like
we implement something beforehand?
People have tried, and even though it was something like people wouldn't care as much in comparison to if somebody tries to do it to LCS. And like if an LCS player
I don't know.
were to try to do it,
I actually,
it would have been way more upscale, or people would know about it. We wouldn't have
maybe
to
in that
the
case, but if something actually happens,
yes.
I think in any scene,
it could
even be a very small scene, and it will everywhere. It will shake gaming at its foundation, and that is a terrifying concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about it.
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen, but I think it needs to be brought to the light before it happens. That's why I was going to make a video.
But you've got tournament organizers that can barely even afford players' flights. I mean, there aren't like this is there's a I mean, we don't even have real sponsors in Smash really. And as far as our own sponsors, right?
Yes.
A huge reason why we actually sponsor Smash as a team is because we just really, really like the scene and we really like it. But there's no actual money coming from it, right?
Yeah.
For any team, and so how do TOs actually contend with the fact that like they may not even be able to afford flying you guys out, which is a necessity because you need your players, much less like hiring private security. And if they do get private security, I'm not sure that security can even respond to an event like that in a way that's appropriate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you need a SWAT team. Yeah.
It's a little bit of my
it's
subconscious
crazy because
paranoia.
Think about the kind of security that goes into something like the Olympics. You've got special forces teams on site.
You can't get there.
You've got snipers. You can't do anything
Yes.
in one of those. But we have, and how many people are in the audience there? Like it's probably.
Depends on the event.
I mean, yeah, but it would be tens of thousands.
Olympics,
but when you're considering Madison Square Garden had 18,000 people.
Yeah.
And it filled the stadium.
Yep.
That's huge.
Yes.
And I think Madison Square Garden had some pretty respectable security. Actually.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
I remember.
And,
I was
yeah,
there, man.
you were. Yeah, and that was. I remember even to go through the back, I had to go through metal detector. They legitimately checked everything. There was dudes with armed guys, and that was the most secure I've ever felt. But there have been other events I know, and I don't want to call them out by name. I think that's but that have had large viewership. I mean, there's been maybe 10,000 people in the stadium, and they don't check a thing.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You just have to. You're just relying on people doing the right thing, and while that is a nice thing to do.
Well, okay. People do the right thing because it's been done the right way thus far.
Yes.
So
nothing has happened.
Most human beings are inherently good.
Yes.
There's a common misunderstanding, but because of media and because media tends to feature human beings that are really bad. If you live in, it's funny. Every time we import a Korean player or any kind of person over here, they're terrified of Los Angeles. Because they legitimately think that there are people like roving the streets with AR-15s.
Yeah, sounds
right?
like what I think.
if you watch the news, that is what you think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My idea of people on the streets in just mainland America is so terrifying.
Still? Your idea?
Yes, still.
Because you're from Hawaii.
Yes. I've only lived here for like a year and a half.
I've seen
No.
it.
Yeah. But I mean, even in the ghetto, they don't have guys running around with.
In my head, they do. In my head, they do.
Okay, I'm not. I gotta default to the.
The hood shows no mercy. That's all I'll say.
Wow.
It's hard, man. This game saved my life.
This game saved your life.
Definitely, 100%.
Why is that?
I could have been a gangbanger, dude. That's just the environment I came from.
Smash pulled you out of it?
Yeah, video games kept me inside. Video games,
Aphromoo.
literally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Video games constructed and anime
Mm-hmm.
both constructed the way I think and what I do. And
Yeah.
because it was so entertaining, I had no reason to go outside and hang with the guys that wanted to sell drugs or wanted to rob people or wanted to shoot people.
Do you feel like you would have become that person if you had not had that influence?
Maybe. But I never, not for a second in my life did I think that stuff was good because my mom taught me the correct way.
Yeah.
But just imagine the chances of something going wrong or maybe someone changed my mind somehow. I could have been an entirely different person and then my life would have been in shambles. But I never had those thoughts. It's just the sheer fact that games didn't even it didn't give a chance. No opening for any of that negativity to get into my life at all. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I've been robbed before. Living in those environments, it doesn't mean, just because you're not like that doesn't mean you're safe at all. Like, I got robbed twice. It sucks, man. But the only thing I can say is that the stuff that I learned from living in the hood has helped me become a way smarter person in the streets. And so when I'm in good environments, I'm still alert, always. Yeah. Always alert, no matter what. And so it's very hard for something to ever catch me by surprise when I'm out on my own. I owe it to the streets for that, but like I still wanted a better life, and I don't want, if I have kids, I don't want my kids to ever have to live in that environment too. So yeah, video games saved me. They literally saved me. It could have been bad. Could have been bad. And I don't blame my mom for, you know, having me in those environments. She's a single mom. The way I won't even say that. Just the way the world works. Let's put it that way. That's where we ended up having to live. But she did her best, and everything paid off. Yeah. It's not just the games, it's her too.
Really?
Yeah.
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 Wow. Yeah. So you had a very different experience because you came from Hawaii, which has zero violent crime almost, right?
After I moved, I've heard about more than I think of my whole time living there.
Mm-hmm.
There have been some stuff that's been happening lately. I'm like, no.
Oh, really?
No. Yes.
Well, LA is a pretty scary place from that perspective, but I still feel like it's enormously overblown. We live in the most peaceful time in history.
That's great.
Ever. Yeah. There's a really good write-up and presentation about this by a guy named Steven Pinkerton, and he has a TED Talk on this, which is you take the total amount of homicides that have gone on over the course of human history, and keeping in mind that we had things like the Crusades, we had like we had times of terrible war, and we've also recently had times of terrible war, like recently being in 50 years. World War, or I guess 75 years, World War II, and then before that, World War I. These are horrific events. So in comparison, the coverage of these events has never been better, but the situation has never been better. It's actually just that you hear about it a lot more. Yeah. And I do worry for gaming. I actually am in the camp that I think that's an inevitability, that at least something bad will happen. And you kind of hear about those old stories of like people chasing people with swords because of a World of Warcraft item drop or something. Like, and beyond that, gaming's not that bad. But there will be a time when that is tested, and yeah, that's gonna be tough.
You can't run from it, sadly.
No, but we also, as a community, I think, are very tight knit. Yeah. And when gaming gets in trouble, it'll pull together.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which community for the most part.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
And it all started at, I feel like for the most part, even though different games, different esports scenes, different sponsors, for the most part, we probably all started gaming for the same reasons. We all have that same like core value of like, you know, we felt strongly enough at a certain point of our life about gaming to the point where we wanted to become a part of it, like during our actual lives. Like we wanted to stay in it, or we wanted to pay attention to it.
It's art.
Yeah, it's art, like
art in one of the purest forms. Those stories, characters, like the amount of work that goes into it is absolutely insane. The amount of like work that developers put into games is, dude. Yeah. There's just so much to appreciate about gaming on way different parts of the spectrum. Yeah. I don't look at games as just something to play, have fun. Like, I appreciate, like, to the nitty gritty, the graphics, everything about it.
The whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of work goes into it. Huge teams.
It's like, just like with that, you can always just like find a new game and see what you appreciate about it, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. And a lot of people have been gaming for years, like years on years on years, and a new game will still like captivate you. And I feel like
that's true. That's
The Last of Us
true.
almost made me cry, dude.
Powerful game, Horizon, which you recently played, was that was an intense game.
He's not done yet.
I'm not done yet.
You're not done?
But just like the fact that everybody can relate just on that kind of brings everyone together.
Yeah.
Like me, I pay attention to a lot of games because I play a lot of games. But I would know people that don't play a lot of games when they hear something's up there, like, oh, like there's this guy that's having trouble in this game, or this guy is an amazing player in this game and he recently like
even if you're really removed from a community, you hear about it. So a really good example of this is EVE Online. Are you guys familiar with EVE?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, of course, right? Like you've never played. You're familiar with EVE? Really? You've never actually heard of it?
Is it an MMO?
It's a space MMO.
Huge.
You never heard about the battles that go on in EVE when they cost hundreds of thousands of real life dollars and things like that?
What?
Okay, so there's this online spaceship game that you can get. Well, the system of currency in the game can translate into real dollars and back and forth. So it's like a open currency almost.
Yeah.
So people can, and there's permadeath further. So if you lose your ship, you lose it forever.
Yes.
So there are these massive fleet battles that happen over a period of days, where people like don't go to work and they check out, and there's these giant battles that cost hundreds of thousands of real life dollars, and can like ruin people. And even like you've heard about EVE, even though Smash must be the furthest removed community from that kind of game.
Yes,
right.
EVE is probably like you have to work for resources.
Yeah, you have to work for everything.
People.
Yeah,
you make something, you lose it forever.
I was a big EVE player for a long time. The only reason I stopped is because I had to take when I took this job. There was no way that I could actually do this job.
Thought you were gonna say you lost like the best ship you've ever had in your life.
I was pretty good because at some point you get a pretty big empire on that game, but I definitely it's a second life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way that I could possibly run this organization optimally. And actually it's at the point now where I can't even play video games. Like I can play, so that is actually another reason why I'm attracted to Smash. Because I can come up and play Smash for an hour and then it's not in my mind space, but EVE or games like that, or MMOs in general,
it's a commitment.
It really is, and it will haunt you offline. Like the little ghost kind of comes along and just follows you around and is like, "Hey, you want to get some more levels? You want to do it? You're thinking about it, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. You can let Smash go if you're a casual. I don't know how it evolves when you're a pro.
Like you think about it a lot idly.
I think Smash is always like
it's always in there
in my head.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. You think about new things to work on. You think about why you.
But you can actually. It goes back to that taking a break concept, right?
Yeah.
You can actually stop playing Smash for a week or two. I feel like in a really crazy MMO, you can't do that. You just feel you're just sucked in. That's why people play WoW for years straight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smash is a party, dude.
Yeah.
It's a party, man.
We never got into that.
Oh,
going
back to that.
Yeah, going back to the
Smash,
scene.
Yeah, we just.
Well, what is the scene? Like, go ahead. Yeah.
We interact with people so much, and not only that, we interact with other Smashers, which probably attributes to why we'll have such massive after parties.
We have a history too.
Yeah, and you naturally meet new people, and these new people can get sucked into this like party. They can get invited to the party. They can go to the party.
That's what like also attracts new people to the game, because even though this is their first tournament, there's a party going on. 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna get kicked out if they go try to approach the party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're welcomed. Smash welcomes anybody.
That's true.
And it's not just that. Like, if you're partying with Smashers, what's one of the most common things at a party? Smash!
Yes,
that's true.
You go to a party with Smashers, and you have the option of just playing Smash if you want to.
Yes.
Yeah, I see.
And then, of course, there will be Super Juice, let's call it that. Super Juice available, so if you want to play Smash with Super Juice, you can also do that.
I think alcohol is not too much of a taboo topic that you can probably
you could
just do that.
I don't drink alcohol. I drink Super Juice.
All right.
Okay, that's a great means of deflection about your actual life. Okay.
No, but of course there will be alcohol present, and everybody's just trying to have a good time, and so we have a good time.
You have a great time.
Yeah, because
sometimes your times are too great, but you got better at that.
Oh, remember PAX South? I told you. It's PAX
You told
South.
me you'd never do that again.
I would never. Me and SFAT were both done.
Did that end up being true?
I will never do that again.
So,
do you remember what we're talking about?
Yeah, because I stayed up that night.
I thought
he was in my room.
No, I stayed up, or I set an alarm to wake myself up at a certain time, because he told me, like, if I'm not back at the room at this time,
go get me.
Come get me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was waiting. As soon as it hit that time, I was getting ready to leave. Door opens, and I'm like, oh hey, and he just like falls on the bed.
Yeah.
Falls on the bed. Gets up, goes to the bathroom, falls back on the bed. It was done. It was crazy.
You were stressed about the tournament, right?
Well, yeah, but that wasn't.
Or something else.
That wasn't.
There was something else.
Me and we were at the Twitch party. We were having a good time. Twitch scheduled it like to be the day before bracket. Oh, that's so dumb. But me and SFAT,
they don't care. Yeah,
we kind of
they probably didn't even think about that.
We had a really good time, and then I woke up the next morning. He was dead. I was dead.
Was SFAT competing as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
We both made top 8, but I was disappointed in the fact that I didn't control how much fun I had.
Was that you lost to Anti?
No,
Anti?
I lost
yeah.
to Anti. Yeah,
that's good memory, dude.
Yeah, that is good actually.
Yeah.
But I said I'll never do that again. Ever.
You did say that to me directly.
I never.
Like almost as if like I was supposed to hold him accountable. Like I'm never gonna do that again. I was like, okay.
I never drink that much before a tournament again.
That's true.
I always very moderation. I've never done it, and I won't do it again because I was disappointed in myself as like a person for doing that, knowing I had that responsibility. Great, I made top 8 still. Congratulations. I still didn't win the tournament. I lost. At some point, I lost. So I did myself a disservice because I felt like garbage.
And you do not drink at all, right? Same. Yes. The straight edge club over here. Yeah.
As soon as I turn 21, it's hard though.
You think so?
The culture of Smash. And the parties, it'll be hard not to get like sucked in.
I found the same thing in esports. Is that it's really tough when everybody around you is drinking and you're just not drinking. Yeah.
But like, what was? Ooh, I'm not gonna say that. Listen, I think that my priorities are really good, especially nowadays, because I don't know if you've been seeing, but I've been stating how reformed I am as a person.
What does this mean?
My reformation.
All I saw was you in a
the reformed apron, right?
An apron, yeah.
Listen, man, I think women are very beautiful, but of course you do as well. But that's not the point.
My fiance most of all, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gaming and dating are two things that seem. Well, actually, no. Being a professional player.
Kind of, yes.
Being a professional player and having a girlfriend are two things that seem to not be able to coexist correctly due to the fact time, emotion, and
this is the second time this has come up on a podcast, but
oh really?
Jason, no, not this specific subject, but actually this specific subject. Jason Lake from Team Complexity, awesome dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever heard of him? He's not really in Smash. Yeah, so he's he runs a lot. Like he's very old school CS, old school Quake, like way back in the day. He says any one of my teams is always one girlfriend away from disaster. Because the moment that meltdown happens, then one player's out in a 5, but it happens in Smash too.
Yeah, think about that because it's like, okay, you and your girlfriend, right?
So you're essentially saying girls and competition.
It's very hard for it to mix.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like even as a Smasher, because you have to think about like
at any level of peak performance, that is true. By the way,
yeah,
it's because you guys are at the top 0.01%. So you're having that problem. Yeah.
You have to think about the time that goes into it. Oh, you and your girlfriend got into an argument. Guess what? You got to compete tomorrow.
Yeah.
Guess what? You might be on tilt or you might tilt quicker.
Yeah.
Because of things that are happening in outside life. Especially if your girlfriend doesn't understand why you have to do something or
like why this might bother you.
Yes, why this is essential.
Isn't that a conversation you should set up initially in the relationship? Like, hi, I am a pro player.
Yes.
This is going to be
of
really
course.
difficult.
Like, are you able to accept this? But even if they say they can,
sometimes it just happens.
In practice,
it just doesn't work out.
I've actually very recent experience within the past 2 months.
Really?
And like I try very hard. What?
I'm just listening.
That's your listening
I try
face.
very hard to like stay away from relationships in that regard.
I actually know you. Yeah, you told me that before.
Because it's just like I have to focus. Like I said, when I moved here, I came here with the intent to focus on Smash.
Yeah.
And this was at Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you already know what the heck. Day 1 was doubles, day 2 and 3 was singles. But the night of day 1, a girl whom, like, I've already expressed that I did not want a relationship due to many reasons. Very drunk. I got lots and lots of paragraphs on certain emotions that, like, she was feeling.
Yeah.
And I was, like, about to go to bed. And for me, I'm like, I don't have time nor, like, effort to worry about this at all. But clearly, I'm not just going to throw it out the window. So, as a result, I am now bothered. I am not in the emotional state I'd like to be when it comes to competing, and like it'd be kind of okay if it's something that either I brought up or it's something that's like actually my own fault, but I had almost no control over this, even though I had previously stated like, hey,
that's where I come in.
Probably shouldn't like do anything.
That's where I come in.
So even though like I know that it could mess things up.
Having a moment, man.
Yeah, but like I know
we're directly correlated. We're always on the same.
Was it the same girl or that would have been? Was it?
Listen, man. Some girls don't.
I was actually reaching so far for that one.
Some girls, let's just say, they don't really care about your
boundaries.
Yeah, your boundaries. Imagine, like, come on. All right. So
how did you deal with that in terms of bro code?
Let's hype it.
We talked about it.
We talked about it.
We literally talked about it
in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I literally said we will never let a girl come between us ever. That's it.
And I
so
said yes. That's it.
That you tell that. Like, you literally tell her, look, you're an issue for this reason. I need you to respect this. Just drop it. Like, just drop it. And if they don't, drama happens. But you see, that's where we're different.
And what if that girl is actually part of the FGC community?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, she is.
So like you're gonna see her again.
Yeah.
How do you contend with that?
We just don't. We don't let it.
Weird.
We don't let.
Just focus on your.
Focus on what you gotta do. Don't let it affect us.
On your
That's
game.
it. Like, our priorities are pretty good, especially so. Him more so. I envy him in the fact that he's able to like deflect girls super easily, and me,
Yeah, you have the curse. Or,
oh my
maybe
god!
Maybe I should say the thirst. Yeah.
If a girl, like if Janae Aiko comes up to me and she's like, "Yo, I'm trying to chill. You got a few seconds?" and I know I got a bracket match, I gotta think about it.
Oh,
I'm joking.
Well,
no.
Actually, Janae
You're not
Aiko.
joking.
You're not joking.
Wait,
Yeah,
Janae
yeah,
Aiko's the only exception, but an attractive girl, like, it's gonna suck because
Janae Aiko.
Yeah. Oh my god.
She's a singer.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
I love her, dude.
Is she just a singer?
I don't care what she is.
What do you mean? No, is she just a singer? Does she do anything else?
I don't care. She does everything.
She does everything.
She does everything.
She's
All right.
She's an everything girl.
So
my goal is to get her to follow me on Twitter right now.
Got it.
That's my goal.
You're just adding her every day.
He-
You're verified, right?
I'm her. I sponsor her, dude. I retweet everything.
He got a picture, or not? He got a picture. He got a shirt with her on it.
That's
and
weird.
He took a picture of
Dude,
it
I'm a
and
fan. I'm a
tweeted it
fan.
at Janae Aiko.
Yeah.
And
She put a heart face.
yeah, she replied with a heart face.
That made my day. That made my week, actually. I was so happy.
He's not lying.
I was so
I know.
happy.
I know
talked
he's
about
not
it.
lying.
The day she follows me on Twitter, everyone in this house will know about it.
Okay. Even if you're not here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, in regards to, like, again, girls in gaming, it's just, they can't.
So I have a very a perspective on this.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That I will share with you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I have been in a very long-term relationship, so 11 years.
7.
As of 7 years. You've been in a relationship for 7 years?
Yeah. Well, that's
Before.
over now, but yeah.
Oh. Okay. I really want to get into that. Should I do perspective first? Oh,
Go
man.
for it.
All right. Okay. So 11 years, and a vast majority of my time is devoted to CLG. To the extent that she actually lives in Lake Tahoe, and I'm working in Los Angeles. So we don't get to see each other that often. Like, we're really happy when we do see each other. And she is, the only way that works is she is amazingly patient and mature about dealing with this. Because it is just extreme. Like, I'm not a pro player, but I'm beholden to the same obligations that you would be in terms of time investment into my craft.
Yeah.
Right.
Very busy.
To be well, and that's the thing, is that I don't have to be as a CEO, right? Like, I could not be.
Yes.
There are CEOs in the scene that work way less than I do.
And I feel like that's very true for players as well.
It is, yes. But the reason why you're ranked the way you are is because of your time investment and because of how you apply that time. So in the same way, I want to run the best organization on earth, well, then I got to put in a lot of time. And she completely understands that, and that predicates a successful relationship. I feel like, though...
You're lucky.
Well, no, you create your own luck. She was not in gaming. She liked retro games, and she loved that.
That's something else
but
I want to say.
I don't think that dating within the actual esports scene is a wise decision most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You took the word right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I will not date within esports at all. I refuse.
When it comes
There's
to
too much that. Oh my god, it makes me so mad. I mean,
right,
but even in a pro player's situation, it's like, do they really like VoiD or do they like James? Which one do they like? Or are you using me so you can get Twitter followers,
Twitch followers, Twitch attention?
Yeah, like
are you using me to get to that guy?
And what's really
sad
sad is
there's
that
a lot of agendas.
It's really sad is there has to be a decent amount of girls in the esports scene, or even guys too, that try to get with like famous girls that are genuine in their interest in the person, right?
Yeah.
But you always have to stay on.
It's by no means a gender issue. The guys have a lot of problems.
You have
too.
to always be on your guard.
Yeah.
And that sucks. So to just remove the issue entirely, don't date within the scene. I rather find a girl, which I have found the way. I found a girl outside of esports. And you know what, man? I'm doing excellent.
We are also in a ecosystem where 95% of the demographic is male.
Yep.
So for females that are trying to be considered equal in this space, it is extremely difficult.
Yes.
But because they're automatically put into this category where there are lesser gamers. And this happens in Smash too. And there's actually some really good female Smash players.
Yeah.
That notably one we were talking to for a while.
Supergirl Kells.
Supergirl Kells. Fantastic, tons of personal development, self-improvement type stuff. And we actually were looking at her as a potential player, which it didn't work out because of her logistics. But one of the reasons why we actually feel CLG Red is because we feel so strongly about this general neutrality issue, and it actually angers me that this is the case. But that women get so downplayed in the scene. It does suck, yeah. And but I want to get to this because this is like you're reformed.
Yes.
That is about a relationship.
No, reformation is about life. Reformation comes from the soul, my man. So let me explain real quick. So the old NAKAT that wasn't reformed, I was just trying to have a good time all the time. Now, I pick wisely.
Does this involve the comb?
Comb is actually,
yes.
The comb is a part of it, to be real.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we are getting towards the comb,
We're getting
guys.
there.
This comb is important. But look, so in my opinion, the way I see it now, in terms of being reformed, is Smash 4 is technically my girlfriend. So most of my time is spent with Smash 4. That's it. I don't have
Wait, so
time.
when you said you met a new woman, it was Smash?
Oh no. I'll get to that too.
Okay.
I've been reformed for a little bit now, and it's been going very well because before I was reformed, I make it very apparent with a girl, I can't really commit to a relationship, so let's have a good time and see where this goes, right? They're either down for it or we're just friends, and that's totally fine. Like, I'm totally good with that. But I wanted my main focus to go towards the game. So that's why I said I liked him, because he's able to, just deflect a girl. Like, if a girl's coming to him, my man got the force field up already. She already gets the picture. I didn't have a force field. I had no barrier. Girl wanted to get to me, I'd be like, how you doing?
Yes.
No more.
You're not quite as bad as one other person I know.
Oh, we both know him very well.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's what I mean by reform. I don't play those games anymore. Like dating in esports to me is just not worth it, especially as a pro player. That's just my opinion. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Just focus more on your craft, and women will come after. Or find a girl outside of esports
that really understands.
You don't have to question, or you
don't
have to question her morals at all.
I think a woman that has one of the big problems is age, right? Because typically a relationship in esports constitutes you who are already fully employed at the age of 22, right? You're 22?
Yes.
Yeah. And you're 20. Yeah, 20. So you guys are both actually fully employed.
Yep.
Like you're receiving income, you're also getting money from your streams, you're working, right?
Yes.
A lot of girls that age are not. Yeah. And so unless they have an independent career, then they are kind of just waiting around for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And one of the things that has made my relationship very successful is that Kat runs a full-blown accounting firm, and it's very successful, and she is independently focusing on her clientele.
Yes.
And I've seen other relationships I know are with a pro player, and our social media director has been successful in a long term.
Yeah.
Because they both have independent lives as well. Mm-hmm. So one of the problems when you are dating in this scene is that you tend to pick up people who don't really have things they're doing.
That could be an issue, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it would work the same if you... Well, actually, I know it works the same because on what we've worked with a lot of women, and it's the same issue back there. Like if you've got a guy that's just kind of hanging around and not really getting after something, then that difference really creates a divide.
My main fears coming from dating in esports, especially like at this point, is interfering with my relationship with him at any like given point, or interfering with like his mood or my mood. Because I said this in an interview before, like when he loses, it hurts almost as bad as if I lost. Like I feel the same hurt. So I want to make sure that we're both successful.
That's really cool, actually. I mean, it's not, it kind of sucks, but it's actually like really interesting. Yeah.
I feel the same way with just other CLG teams.
Burns.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
that is one of the things that really brings CLG together.
That actually,
everybody's so mad when everybody's upset when Smash loses.
We'll catch a league game, and if they lose,
we're just so sad.
Yeah,
and we're like not even here. We're
and
like,
people are feeling that for Smash too. I think that's one thing about CLG that is so cool, is that everybody's watching everybody's games.
Yes.
Yeah.
I started watching Overwatch because of CLG Overwatch. Mm-hmm. I try to catch majority of the CS:GO games whenever I can. Mm-hmm. Watch CLG Black when they're in the open qualifiers.
You can just have it on another monitor in the room,
mm-hmm.
and then boom, you're right there. And you win, yes. You lose.
So one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to rebuild our website. And the hope is that we have a ticker that actually has ongoing games all the time, so that you know whenever CLG is playing a game. And that'll be really helpful for fans that are trying to follow the stuff. We have an insane amount of teams at this point. Something like 9 or 10 teams. If you count the Premier CS:GO Academy we announced, I think today. Yeah. And so there is a lot of teams. I actually couldn't keep up with how many were competing, so I actually internally requested. I was like, "Can we actually get this ticker to go up?" Because I was like, "I don't even know what's going on."
But that's really where my standpoint comes from.
Okay, like, so this
dating and
reform,
sports, this reformation
is not necessarily around women.
Oh, it's in many things. Women is one thing.
But what I guess, to challenge you a bit.
Yes, go for it.
You made it a meme.
Yeah.
So did you make it a meme to hold yourself accountable, or or is this sort of a funny NAKAT thing to do? Because like, look, with you, out of everybody on CLG, whenever I see you, I've told you this before, it feels like you're always up to something.
I always have to smile, right?
You told me that too.
Yeah, but it feels like there's more to what you're doing, but it's not necessarily nefarious. But with him, he's always up to something.
Dude.
Like you've got an agenda. There's a plan.
Sometimes
you need some extra resources to accomplish some new scheme. Like I don't know what's going on, man.
It's never anything bad ever. It's just I think sometimes it's also taken that way because I have the like the smirk.
That's why
I love.
Yeah.
I like laughing. I like smiling. That's literally a part of my personality. I do this at tournaments too all the time. That's just who I am. But like a plan. Maybe sometimes, but again, it's never anything bad.
And I'll walk into the house, he's going like this.
Yes.
And I'll be like, "You're up to what are you up to, man? Like, what are you getting into? What
just,
can I do for you? What's going on?"
If I don't need anything, I don't ask. I don't ask. It's just
That's
me.
True.
It's probably me thinking to myself most of the time.
Nobody on CLG is as open with asking for stuff as you, which I like. But if you need something, you'll just be after it, man. And that's cool because we actually have a lot of players that like will say, "Yeah, I've wanted that thing for like a month," and then we'll be like, "Well, why didn't you just use the form?" And they're like,
a lot of people don't.
I'm not trying to be a jerk.
I'm
not trying to be a jerk. I just ask. If I need it, I just ask.
Got it. But you're also okay with people saying no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're talking about that reformation, man, the reformation is literally about like the way you approach dating life, the way you approach the game, that mentality I was talking to you about is just reforming myself in many different ways to become even better. That's it. And
it's real. It's not a meme. You're actually doing it.
It's real.
You think it's real too?
It's real.
It's real enough. It's not
real enough
to the point where like it happened. Like he didn't just out of the blue be like, "Hey guys, I'm reformed. Let's go." No, it's like something that if you were to say it's not true, it's still something that he's constantly working towards to where it's real enough.
Got it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And it's not over. The reformation is still happening. Yeah. It's made a lot of progress. I'll tell you that. Like it's not even a joke. This is actually serious.
Where are you going?
Where am I going?
What do you want to become?
I just want to become. I I think my time or my focus, my priority is like on Smash and on having fun, but I want to gear it towards more so just, I think 80% work. Like 80% work, that's it. And then 20% fun. Because the way my personality works, as much as I love Smash and it's a fun game, it is also work. So I know how important it is. I'll always take it as serious as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to be able to mix in my my social life. You know, have fun. I like to dance. I like music. I like partying. I like that aspect of life as well. But I don't think I've been paying equal amount of attention to both. But I do think that I've been giving partying like enough. And I think I can lower it down more. Not because it's affecting me in a bad way. I just think it'll be even better if I lower it down.
Okay.
That's it. And so I'll probably make that adjustment too. Because even when we have Smash parties, there would be point in time where like I'd stay out really late, but I'd always get enough rest that I needed. But why not get extra?
Yeah.
Or feel
that is something that I've struggled with at a lot of events is the lack of sleep.
Yeah.
You really should get 7 or 8 hours before a competition if you can. It's very important for what I do even, so I know that because the thing is, and I've thought about this a lot, I talked to this with Darshan on the LCS team a lot, the amount of effort that needs to be poured into your competition is like an immense initial surge, right? And then like for that period of time you're just on. But for the work that I do, I have to, it's much less, but I have to always be on.
Yeah.
Right? I'm never done competing. I'm competing every day, every night, So it's just a constant flow, right? When I feel that in the like if I get 4 hours in it, I can't imagine what you guys feel. I mean, it must just be, and it's so tempting too to stay up at events. It's so
you see all your friends and they're like having fun, and you know
not the case for CS:GO and LCS because they're in their kind of bubble, like you said. Yeah, they get in the shuttle, they go to the event. And they leave.
Smash,
and then
it's
they go
like
to sleep.
right there. And
it's
then
right
you have
there.
some people that...
Every day people want to hang out, spend a couple extra minutes. It's someone you haven't seen in a while. Yeah. A few extra minutes in a hotel room.
Some people will go to these parties and they'll still be fine the next day, still like kicking ass. But like,
you think not the actual same level? I don't know.
Not everybody's the same.
Sleep affects everybody.
Not everybody's the same. Sadly, well, actually not sadly, but not everybody's the same. So you have to find what works best for you. And like I said, the things I was doing weren't actually affecting me negatively, but I think I can get much more of a boost as a person if I start to even cut back more. So while I put the fun moments of me partying, because that's who I am, I love to party, I love being around people, I put those fun moments on my Snapchat because I want people to see that other side of me. If they want to see me play Smash, they get that side when they watch my stream.
Good point.
My Snapchat is for literally partying and all of that ignorance and wild faces and the stuff that you guys have seen. That's for that.
Got it.
And like I'm saying, the daytime, I'm streaming, I'm playing Smash. Nighttime comes, I'm having fun. Why not? Kick back. That's just, it's the balance between the two. Because that's just
I love
who
that.
I am.
I love that your esport has that.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's just who I am, man. And I just like to enjoy life.
That's good.
That's the truth.
NAKAT all right.
Reformation, baby.
So we're gonna do a couple of questions from wherever. I think Twitter.
Okay.
This is your last opportunity to talk about the comb, most likely, unless it's saved for the second podcast. You think it's just not worthy?
Oh no, I think the comb is gonna come up in this one, but I think someone on Twitter asked about the comb.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll let them ask the question.
Okay, so then I want to ask you two kind of quote. We have like 30 minutes.
Yep.
And then I want to ask you like two kind of closing questions. I think will just be really fun, interesting. Yeah. And you want to field some questions from Twitter?
Yeah.
All right. What do you got?
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
All right. So you're talking about the comb question. Elliot the Elephant asks, "Why do you have a comb in your hair, NAKAT?"
All right. So check this out, Elliot. When I went in Mexico, I learned something very special. I learned that the people, not the women, the people of Mexico,
the males too,
love my hair. They love it. Now the thing is, in Mexico, they don't got too many black people. You know what I'm saying? In America, we got black people all over. So when I go over there, I'm like a rare Pokemon, and they don't have that kind of hair out there. So when I'm out there, you know, the girls, can I touch your hair? Oh my God. And they just rub my hair and I'm like, yo, I love this, man. I love this. When girls rub your hair, it's super underrated. So I decided, you know what? I'm about to get this fro going on. So when I get my fro going on, they're going to want to feel my hair even more. I'm like a chia pet in Mexico. A real life chia pet. That's why I got the comb going on. I even bought some hair.
So you're going to grow an afro?
Yes, I'm getting an afro.
Because of Mexico.
Now you have sported the afro in varying degrees over the course of the years. But it's more out of a laziness to actually have a style than anything else, right?
I mean, I'm fine with my hair. If my hair is growing, I'm like, that's okay.
Got it.
I was against hair growth, by the way.
I know.
I like when my hair is cut.
You were cutting your hair every 2 weeks.
Yes.
And you had to. And you were telling me it was because you had to keep it fresh.
Yes. This is another part of reformation. I've learned in Mexico that my hair is special.
How big is this fro gonna get?
I don't know.
You gonna be able to keep birds in it?
Wait,
or something,
you know Corbin Bleu? All right. He a Disney actor. I'm trying to get hair like that.
Got it.
Yeah. You're gonna see me on High School Musical 4.
Got it. That was the mystery of the comb, I suppose.
I don't understand it.
You don't?
No.
You're right. Wait, but that doesn't explain anything.
No. We don't have as much like African American culture from Hawaii.
Okay.
So for me, my own
Samoan. Yeah.
Samoan
Yeah.
Hawaiians.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's
for me, it's only like. But I don't understand the appeal of short hair. I just have hair.
Are you?
Like that's kind of
are you completely African American, or are you?
You're half African American,
and half.
I'm Hawaiian, Filipino, Chinese, Portuguese.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Perks of being from Hawaii.
Got it.
You're everything.
Yeah, big mix.
So they don't got me out in Mexico, so I got to give them a part of me.
This is predating the afro.
Yes.
Oh well, technically, yeah.
The comb is. You don't have the afro yet.
So yeah, check this out. If I brushed my hair,
I feel like I'm talking about our LCS part every time.
No, dude. Yeah. If I brushed my hair, it would be a lot lower. When I comb it, it like kind of straightens the curls out a bit, so it makes it go higher. So the longer my hair grows...
you're training it.
Huh?
You're training it.
Straightening it to a degree.
Training.
No, straightening.
Straightening.
Yeah,
okay.
because like it's
this is like another world.
When you brush it, it's like super curly, but when you comb, the comb kind of like.
Though you want to know a cool story? Actually, I've never told this story ever to anybody. If in 4th or 5th grade or something, I had a giant afro, real like afro. It just because my hair curls naturally.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep it very short. This is actually really long. I'm gonna get a haircut like in like a week, and if I actually let this go, it will actually fro up to a huge degree. Like the painter, Bob
Ross.
Yeah, I'll Bob Ross it. I've got that kind of. Yeah, Bob Ross is an inspiration to us all.
Yes.
It is it'll be a huge fro, and I actually was sporting one of these because like there's that period of time when you're growing up in grade school where you have no self-consciousness.
Yep.
And you just don't care about it.
Yeah.
It's like before women exist and like anything like that.
It's like my hair.
So you never grew out of it, but no. I mean, like you still keep yourself clean. Like you get it. Like that, but there's that time when you're truly.
Yes, you just let it go.
You've gone beyond, or you're just, And so I had that giant fro, and eventually my parents were like, "Look, we got to talk about this." We had an intervention kind of, but my hair will actually naturally do that. I'll actually grow a fro if I let this grow enough.
Go to Mexico.
It'll never happen,
bro.
I mean, I do not share the benefit of being as rare as you are in Mexico.
I'm actually a rare shiny Pokemon.
Very much so. They're not as rare as you would be in China or Korea.
Oh, I don't want to go to China.
I don't know about China, but Korea's a really nice place.
Korea, I'd like to.
And if you like
to go.
If you like the attention you're getting in Mexico, you will 2 or 3x that in Korea. I'm just saying.
Nah.
I'm telling you.
Mexico is a special place, man. I might get a house in Mexico.
Oh God. Have you been to Seoul?
No.
To Seoul, yeah.
No. I actually don't know much about Korea at all.
Well, the first thing you need to know is that they're very interested in people they don't see that often.
Oh, really?
There's not even that many. Yeah.
Smash won't take me to Korea, sadly.
It's true. There's no scene. Yeah, there's no scene.
Small.
Are there any Korean pros even? Probably. There must be one or two.
I know the best Korean player is a Fox man.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's if their scene is like microscopic.
Very small. Yeah. Japan just dominates it. Yeah. More questions?
The next question is from @theblue1. Who's the one person you want to beat in a bracket at a major?
You want to go first? I'll go first.
I know his answer.
I mean, mine is just 0.
Yeah.
Oh, 0?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's not that crazy. I feel like if you could equate like my Smash career to like an RPG, I feel like I've beaten the final boss.
Yeah.
And I've beaten like the secret boss, but Zero is just like that super
Ultimate
boss.
weapon. Yeah.
And then like
Ruby weapon.
Once you beat him, like you don't even like get stronger or anything. You just
Yeah.
get an item that's like, hey, you beat
Zero.
This
guy.
Here you go, and that's all the item does.
Yeah.
That's it. So I feel like once I beat him, just like confidence-wise, I'll just stop limiting myself. I'll be like, you know, I do have what it takes to pretty much do what I can.
You did beat him.
No.
No, he's never beaten him.
Wait, is that right?
I've gotten very close, but I haven't beaten him.
I thought you beat him at a few months. Oh no, you're right.
He lost.
Yeah,
close.
yeah, you got so close. I do remember that now. Yeah, I'll be waiting for the day.
Me too.
I watch all your matches. And NAKAT, what do you think?
I want to beat him.
Really? That's
the,
actually true.
He is the 100.
That's actually true.
100%.
You do post about that.
I will dedicate my soul to beat him. I will dedicate my soul, and it can't be one time. It has to be more than once.
Well, what's the magic number?
It has to be at least 3. And then after that, I still won't stop.
You think this is gonna happen?
No.
Yeah.
I've gotten very close. Him saying that makes me want to beat him more. I will beat you.
That's the thing.
I promise.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
You gotta outwork him, man.
No, I will beat him.
That's the only way.
I keep getting close. I won't get close next time.
We've had a few game fights.
I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna beat him.
I think.
What's so cool is you guys can come together so close as duos and friends, and then it's that it's really a one-sided rivalry because you're pretty confident.
Oh no,
honestly.
I really like when people really want to beat me.
Yeah.
Because
motivation for you.
Well, yeah, because I've been in that situation. I know what it's like to want to really beat someone, and I know how much work you put in when you have a goal like that. So if somebody really wants to beat me, I'll be like, okay, great. Now I'm going to try my best to outwork you because I'm so confident in my work ethic that you very, very much have to outdo me. And when you do beat me, I'll just be proud.
Got it.
You ever hear of the slave, the king, and the citizen?
No.
It's like
wait, isn't that just rock, paper, scissors?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm the slave, dude. And the slave has everything to lose. I had nothing to lose and everything to gain.
What does this mean?
I think the slave beats the king.
The slave beats the king?
Because the slave has nothing to lose, so he's
and has everything to gain.
Like Gladiator style. Did you see that movie?
No.
You didn't see Gladiator?
No. It's right. It's like the logic of think of
rock, paper,
comparing the slave to the king, where the king already has everything. He's set. He's on his.
So he's complacent.
Yes. The slave
has nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I'm literally the slave. I'm gonna beat you.
I think I'm just a citizen.
No, I'm gonna beat you.
You can't
beat you.
The thing is that there are so check this out though. That I think that dynamic is very true. To use that analogy, that like a slave can beat a king, because, and I see this in esports a lot, and that organizations that it's kind of what I'm hoping for the top organizations. Like I believe slowly that TSM and C9 will get complacent, and that because I'm outworking them currently, I'm already outworking them, I will eventually surpass them, and because I will just keep going. There is occasionally though a person who gets to the top and stays there because they are so hungry and motivated, and those people are truly scary.
Sounds like Zero.
Zero is that guy in Smash. In traditional business, it's Elon Musk, it's Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, right? It's these people that like. What I really love to see is someone in business and esports that is truly not motivated by money. They're not motivated by fame. They don't care how many Twitter followers they have. They're just there to win. They're just there to win, and like I get that feeling from you. I'm getting it more and more from you, and like there's some people in our team, like increasingly in our organization, that is happening too, and it's very exciting. Like when there is nothing on the table besides winning, and you'll do anything for it.
Yeah, man.
That is such a cool answer to that question.
No, when you bring up this topic, I get pissed. In a good way. It's a good anger.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's like partially, it's not really my job, but like I want to challenge you to be the strongest version of yourself. That is why I'm in esports. Is twofold, right? Because I want you to be the best competitor in the world, and I want you to be the best competitor in the world, and I want you guys to, like Joker style, like break 2 pool cues and then fight to the death for that, right? I don't have to do that. The TOs do that, but right, like, and then you guys get there, right? But at the same, but at the same time, physically, mentally, and spiritually, you act as beacons for every other person who's watching you play. and you can be that for them. And you can be that inspiration so that they grow stronger in their own lives. Maybe not towards being a pro player. Maybe they just go to the gym a little bit more often.
They can apply it to something else.
Yes, and they do. I mean, like, and it's like one of the things I really respect about you two is you're actually so cognizant of that. Is that like it was one of the reasons why you do your YouTube videos. I think you've increasingly tried to be more in the public, but it's tough for you still. And but what I'm saying is like I like to challenge. Like I'm glad because I want to make you angry about your results. I want you to beat VoiD, and I want you at the same time equally to never lose to him, ever.
Okay.
Yeah. If you do lose to him, it'll be complacency that does it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I agree.
No, not complacency.
He has to slow down or you have to
not-
speed up. One
You're
of the
not
two.
liking me. I refuse.
Awesome.
I refuse.
Next question.
Next question.
So this actually leads into the next question. So VoidKat is a serious contender for first place in doubles. How would you guys describe the time and effort you're currently putting into this team?
You need to be at the house more.
You need to be at the house.
I'm saying.
You need to be at the house more.
Like, I'm not gonna practice doubles. I would rather practice doubles against a level 1 computer than practice doubles online.
This has turned into a roast the cat
So
podcast.
you need to be at the house more so we can practice
Yes.
doubles more.
When I am at the house, we had Como Renai over. Dude, that
Oh yes.
we had like
We've had
we've
very
had
long
very long
just doubles
practice sessions. Like extremely long for hours with Tyrant Rich Brown, Como Renai, other people that come over.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've done it before. The only thing I could say to this absence that I was gone for like 3 weeks to 4 weeks because I went from one tournament to the next. So I went from Florida to Mexico, then I finally came back here. Like that's why I was gone. I was going tournament to tournament.
But
That's it.
we do actually like practice a lot. We always try to tackle problems. One thing that I like, if I'm like feeling really comfortable or we've like been playing a lot, I can actually shot call very effectively in doubles, like while we're playing, just because I come from league. And on my league team, I was primary shot caller up until like 25 minutes. So it's like I understand more so like we're not just fighting each other, we're playing on a map.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more to just these guys are at this percent.
Oh, so many different dynamics.
So it's
yeah.
more so
Compared
just
to
like
singles, it's
being
just
able
crazy.
to communicate that as a team while we're playing, of course, is something that needs to be practiced.
Mm-hmm.
But we have practiced it, practiced talking with each other in game, practiced talking with each other out of the game, and then over time, like our combos have developed, our kill setups have developed, helping each other recover. Like a lot of things has gotten so much better over time because we've had these hour-long practice sessions against these very strong teams, against these people that aren't just playing to play, like these people that are trying, they're being competitive with
I
us.
always feel the improvement too. Like when we were playing Rich Brown and Tyrant for that long ass time, and Tyrant was so demotivated. Like knowing that you could do that to somebody, it's like, damn, dude, are we really that scary to fight? It was.
You're
really
pretty
good.
scary.
It was
yeah.
really, really strong.
Yeah, and that's with a pretty big history of you guys not really doing a lot of dedicated training in doubles comparatively to, say, anything else. So, like, if you guys really do get into that, they're just uncontestable, I think.
Like I said, I think we're top 5. I
Oh,
could
yeah.
even be crazy to say top 3, but we just need to keep on going, man. We need to just keep on going. So, yeah, I think one day we'll be number 1. One day.
I believe it too. Maybe one more or 2 more?
Yeah, maybe one more.
One more.
So this is a question for VoiD.
We're trying to end at probably 7.
What do you think is the next step for you to be able to take first in a major / super major?
Ooh.
Not die early.
Huh?
Not die early.
What do you mean by die?
You know what I mean. Not get rage BS'd.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, of course, like, I just have to play well, like, throughout the whole tournament to get to that point. But a thing for me, even though you'll never see it on my face, very rarely, I am a very nervous player.
Really?
At Zero Saga, I got 3rd, best tournament placing in a long time. I was nervous to the point that I felt like I had food poisoning. And I was throwing up, I could not keep water down, I could not keep food down, and this was all because of just how nervous I was. And at that tournament, like, I beat MK Leo, I beat Nairo, went to Game 5 with Larry, but even though I went that far, I was like, you know, because of how nervous I've been, I do not have the energy to continue playing in this tournament. And this affects me at a lot of tournaments, and it's been getting a lot better over time. But other than that, like, I feel like that just goes into my main point. I feel like I just need to be in the right mentality to do it. And that
how
comes
do you
with
fix that mentality?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to not be nervous. It's hard to be confident, and then I have to execute properly.
Mentality sucks.
That's an incredible insight into what pros go through. That you're actually physically sick because you're so nervous. And I get that, man. Like, I do a lot of public speaking. That's my real true passion. Like, like when I'm up on stage, still,
Yes.
I seem like a very confident person.
But
I mean,
there's a lot going on behind
I'm
the
so
scenes.
nervous. Yeah.
And I feel like being a newer like player just to Smash overall, there's a lot of things I still have to catch up on, in my opinion, in comparison to a lot of the older Brawl veteran players. But besides that, I do feel like I just have to overcome something just within myself to get to the point where I can win. Because I don't think I'm not at the skill level to win a tournament. I think personally, just somewhere in my mind is just like telling you like, hey, you're not ready yet. Though I don't believe that with like, I will say I don't believe that. I feel like just somewhere in my heart, I'm just like a little more frail than I'd like to be. So I don't think skill is the problem. I think just mentality is the problem.
Okay.
Mentality.
So I have two questions I think are both interesting. I'm going to start with a fun one, and then one that I think people really like. So what is the number one question or the number one thing you guys would tell each other?
What do you mean?
So either what is a question that you have for each other that you have not asked before, or what is one thing you would like him to know, or you would like him to know that you haven't told him before, or your like number one most interesting thought about each other?
Dude, that's wow, man. I feel like I'm going on a date. You first.
Savage.
I can't think of one.
You had ammo before the podcast.
Well, yeah, but this is like actual no restraints.
Well, I mean, if you take it that way, it can.
It is.
Oh.
We
We go another hour from here.
What do you personally feel limits yourself from growing skill-wise in both singles and doubles?
Me. The way I think.
What about the way you think? What I know, okay, the reason why I ask this is because I know in my heart you hate Sheik. And I can tell when we play, and I tell you certain countermeasures, but I feel like you throw them out the window because you're just like, he plays Sheik, man.
It's that hate, dog. No, it's just the way I think, dude. It's confidence. I don't have the same confidence I had before.
Okay, that's it.
Most of it is self-driven, and the other is community-driven.
Okay.
So, I think that's what limits me. I think I made the appropriate choice of like limiting my play of Ness because he fell out of the meta, but despite how good I am, like I think I'm a really good player skill-wise.
Yeah, I do too.
I just don't have the confidence that I once had to back it up, and it's a steady mountain of trying to regain that confidence again, man. Because
and it sucks because it actually like can hinder your skill.
Yeah, I really feel like I don't even know if this is the correct way to put it. I might have like Smash depression, dude.
You told me this like a year ago.
Yeah, I might still have it.
Jesus.
Still have it. Never fully went away. It gets better, but like,
yeah,
that shit sucks, dude. I go to a tournament and I know that I can beat this guy that I'm about to fight, and then like, I don't know, a part of my brain just goes dark, and I just go into all that self-doubt and all that garbage again, and it's like a lonesome battle. It's by myself. I think that is the key thing that holds me back. Okay. That is the key thing, and it's up to me to figure out how to get out of it, man. There's something I feel, but I'm hopeful and optimistic that something will click again, because if I was able to be a certain way before that, I don't need to stay this way. I don't have to stay this way. And so I just have to figure it out. Mentality is hard. It's very hard. Yeah. sucks. It's sad. Let's see.
You happy with that answer?
Yeah.
All right, I am too. Yeah.
Something. Wait.
Anything.
What do I have to ask?
Anything.
Oh shit.
It could
Anything
be a
that you
question.
want to know,
Yeah.
or anything that you want to let me know
Yes, that's right.
that you haven't told me.
All right. Damn, dude, I really feel like I'm on a date. It's like a
Reformation.
yeah, reformation. All right, two things. Okay, so one is a question, one is something I'll tell you.
Okay.
The question is, let's see. Are you happy being on a team with me? And why?
Do you mean CLG or doubles?
Anything. Both.
Yeah. I get this question a lot in regards to doubles, since A, you don't play Cloud, and B, you're not in like the top echelon of like players in the sense of like top 10, top 15. So a lot of people ask me, and I'm like, like I might be able to do better with somebody else, potentially, but A, we wouldn't be able to practice as much, B, they wouldn't want to practice as much, and then C, I do not care about how good somebody is in game. Like, I could literally care less if this person absolutely sucked and I had to do all the work all the time. When it comes to me, I feel like I can play very well as long as I'm composed. And doubles, I'm very hard on myself, and I don't think there's another teammate that can actually pick me up as easily as you can in terms of in between games or just out of game. So outside of that, you're actually really good in teams, so that's just another plus. And I don't think teaming with anyone else static would really be as much fun nor as successful, because I can really, you know how hard I can tilt. Like, I very rarely tilt, but if I tilt, I just fly off the face of the planet. It's crazy. So because of that, I really do appreciate being on a team with you in terms of Smash. In terms of CLG, I feel like just the answer is yes. I feel like there's a lot less to explain, because as I moved to SoCal and didn't know as many people, this was within like the first month or 2 months. I remember these two specific moments. One was when I was walking with Ally to Wendy's, now C9, and one was when I was walking with you to Wendy's. And I would ask you guys a lot of questions about like, what do you guys feel? How did you guys get here? How did you guys become a top player? And those are things that I would constantly think about. So catching up to you was like a very, very prominent goal in my mind. So being able to be like beside you is actually very, like, it lets me know, it lets me be aware, like, hey, you made it, and you still have to like keep going, because I feel like the roles could definitely be reversed, even though I still look up to you. It's something that I feel is something very important that I've had a majority of my life, is looking up to somebody who looks up to you, because that way you guys both keep motivating each other. And there are a lot of people in Smash that are very good and very like motivated outside of Smash, though not too many people would like fit the role as well as you did. So yes, I'm glad to be on the team with you.
So the one thing I want to tell you, actually it's like kind of like a series of things, is that again, as I said, when you lose, it bothers me just as much as if I lost. If someone's bothering you, it affects me as well. I have like a few people I could really call my best friend, but like there's a difference between a best friend and a brother to me. And I'm not family oriented.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like, I have my mother, my grandmother, my baby sister, that's my uncle. That's like the extent that it really goes to. So to be able to call someone like, I see you as family, to me is like something like I extremely mean. I don't just throw it around. Like, I actually consider you like a brother. And so the fact that when we're in that room together, dude, it's like sitting motivation, sort of. Like, you're right there, you're accomplishing all this stuff, and it makes me self-reflect on myself a lot, where I feel like, shit, I could be doing this better, or I gotta catch up. Maybe I'm not living up to the standards that, I put in place for myself, or I wonder how you view me, or everybody else. And so it makes me want to work like 8 times harder. But at the same time, it also, like, it's that Smash depression I'm talking about, man. Yeah. It's like, I put this heavy weight on myself that I'm learning to not do, because I'm learning that people's perceptions of me are not the stupid things that I'm thinking of. And so I just want to say that I really respect everything you've done, because it literally, like I said, it reminds me of myself. And I think it's the one thing that's going to be able to actually like help me. I think you're helping me get back to the way I was. And I appreciate that, whether you realize it or not. Actually, my next YouTube video was going to be on what living with you is like. It was literally about, it's going to be on you. And in the video I say, I hope he doesn't watch this. I was going to block you for a day. Just so you don't know I put it up, but you'd see it. And then you'd see it. But
I mean, then I would have to refollow you, and you would have to explain it.
Yeah, why I blocked you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all good. But it's literally like, I just want to say that, like, no matter what, man, I love you, dude. And I'm super happy that you came into my life, man. You're, like, one of the best people ever.
Thanks.
Yeah. Wow. I'll never say that again, though.
Okay, it's fine. I feel the same way in a lot of aspects. Like I said, you did motivate me. You did help me. You were a beacon. You're still somebody I do look up to. One thing I could add to that, don't ever consider yourself like falling behind. You only really fall behind when you give up. So just don't give up.
It's impossible for me to give up.
Well, yeah, then you'll be fine. Even if you feel like things won't be fine, just voice your concerns.
That's hard to talk about.
Yeah,
you're correct. I should voice it.
It's not like
super
it's not like we sleep in the same room, or we're around each other 5 days a week.
Yeah, I know, man.
Or I'm gonna make fun of you because you get upset at a Reddit comment. Like, I don't care. Like, come on.
I got Reddit blocked, so it don't matter.
But for the most part, I mean, if you have problems, I deal with the same things, whether you know it or not. Like, I'm VoiD. I don't make facial expressions. But
dude, behind I'm goofy. That's what I am. But it's not always because I'm actually being goofy. Sometimes it's literally just I gotta mask the pain, dog. Especially like at tournaments. I always gotta put the veil on.
Just let me know. If you need somebody to cheer for you, if you need somebody to coach you, just let me know. Like, I am proud to call you a best friend as well. And I'm not family orientated, so I will not use the term brother. But I feel like I only have one other best friend, and that's Charles.
Yeah.
So to put you on that tier is very high up there for me.
That was thank you for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. It's pretty rare when I don't have anything to say. So.
You have another question?
I do. I would like to know, and a little bit, maybe a kind of a quick aside, what you wish the Smash community knew, or understood better.
About what?
Anything you want.
Oh.
Each of you. And maybe along with that, just kind of final thoughts or shout outs to anybody that you want to say hello or thank you to.
Okay, let me think.
Yeah.
You do not, like, Smash does not have the invisible barrier between top players as other games do. If I am playing with you, me personally, I am almost as grateful for you playing me as you are to play me. Like, wow. It's not just a one-way street. You're not still just looking up to me like, oh my god, like, I get to meet VoiD, I get to play with VoiD, he gets to teach me all of these things. Like, most of us, the community wouldn't be a community without the people. So from me, like, I'm almost as grateful to just everyone being a part of the community as they are to, like, be able to watch me or to be able to, like, see me at a tournament or take a picture with me. Like, that I didn't come to the community to be, like, only play with top players, like, super elitist. Like, I came from where everyone else came from, and you guys can do the same thing too. So don't treat me like... treat me like a peer. Don't treat me like an idol. I feel like that's something that people, it's hard, of course, to just like not do it, especially when you watch these guys on streams all the time. But if you at least try to do it, I'm very appreciative. Like, it's great to feel like somebody's friend rather to feel like a top player.
Oh, definitely, man. Holy crap. I want to feel like I'm me, not like I'm not Beyonce, dude. I'm not.
And I feel like that's very, very evident in the Smash community, but that's also the fact because the invisible barrier is not there, so people like will do that.
Okay.
Like,
but
and,
yes.
you know, if that's just who you are by nature, then so be it. Like, some kids will approach you and like shaking.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They really want
Really?
a picture or
That's
a handshake
fine.
or something.
That's fine.
You know,
Mhm.
if that's you can't control it, it's okay. But like, you don't have to feel that way. Again, he literally said it perfectly. We were once there at that point.
Yeah.
So even now that we've risen, we're still the same. You and I are still the same. Like, I'll still sit next to you during a top 8 and side bet and have a chat. Doesn't matter, man.
Talk about what happens.
Yeah,
what
it
do you
like
think about that.
doesn't matter. It's no NAKAT to like this guy or I'm just a random. I hate when people say that I'm a nobody. Really?
Yeah.
Like, is that how you're gonna approach me? I'm
Yeah.
a nobody. Don't say that. I tell
Yeah.
them don't say that about yourself. What's your name? Who are you? People want to play. If I can play, I'll play.
Yes.
No problem. Like, you don't have to act like I'm an Egyptian god card. I'm not. I'm just a normal dude. That's it. I just so happen to be good at this game, or so happen to be good at the character you play. But you can talk to me like a normal dude, man.
Yeah.
And we're all good. So what he was saying, like just approach us like we're normal people. Yeah, that's what I would want the Smash community to do in general with people. Just approach us like normal humans, and it'll all be the same result. Honestly, like we actually owe you guys a lot.
Exactly.
Yes. Like, without fans, what kind of influence do you have, right? What kind of story do you leave behind? Who are the people that are helping you, grow on social media, on Twitch, YouTube? Like, you guys add up to a lot, to be real. And so you should never take that for granted or feel any lesser than that at all. Because, come on, if I was a guy with no fans, would I really have the opportunity to be a part of CLG? Or would I really have the opportunity or popularity to be put on a compendium to go to an event? No. The opportunities wouldn't exist. And the opportunities kind of start with what I do and how you guys react. So you're just as important as me.
Is there any other shout outs you want to make or anything you want to say to anybody?
To my fan base,
Yeah.
the Onet boys.
I don't have a name for my fan base.
Got it.
but
And Oneta girls.
Everyone that supports me, honestly, it goes a long way. Special shout outs to Charles.
Yeah.
He's a big part of why I'm here. So I'd very much like
J-Man
to
for
thank
me.
him.
You met J-Man at
I did.
San
I remember.
Diego.
Yeah.
Jesus, he's got 2 kids in the Marines and a wife. My man, you living it up. I hope you're having a good time, man.
I do too.
I'm still here
He's
doing
funny.
the same old thing.
He's really funny.
I miss him. I miss him a lot.
Well, for my part, it is a huge honor to have you both in this organization. I feel a very personal connection to you because I was integral in the decision making to bring you both on, and I love Smash 4. So it's despite my maybe some perceived lesser choice of a character selection, I still hope that I have that respect. But in all realness, you two are, when I think of what CLG is, and I think of how we are trying to create an organization that inspires people inside and outside of the organization to be the best they can be. You two are living inspirations of that, and you are actually going out there and creating content and telling stories and living this life that is inspiring thousands of people every day. And so it is my great honor for you to be here on this team, and for me to be in the position I am to help support you in that. And I just wanted to thank you so much for that, and to tell you that I honestly, offline, online, I have so much respect for both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out for this. It's amazing.
Of course, it was fun.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Cool.